the first game of the 2008 season, Tom hurt his knee. So we all knew coming in after the game, I think everybody, hey, Brady hurt his knee. He's out for the season. And there's Mike. I'm standing in the locker room. There's Mike Vrabel coming. Okay, boys, we're going to have a little different brand of football. And that's, Mike, hey, run the ball and play defense. That is so deep in his soul, that's not going to change.
Welcome to Games with Names, presented by Dunkin. I'm Julian Edelman, they're Jack and Kyler, and we are on a mission to find the greatest game of all time. On today's episode, we are covering Super Bowl XXXVIII, Panthers versus Patriots, with six-time Super Bowl champion, legendary football research director of the New England Patriots, and best friend of the show, Ernie Adams. We are talking the most underrated Super Bowls of all time.
You never know when that play is going to be. That's when you got to give 100% every play.
His thoughts on the 2025 Patriots.
Third year, you got to be a player. When the championship's on the line, you're ready to go.
And what he did to piss off Tom Brady weekly.
Oh, he got so upset with that.
And we talk about what it's really like watching film in the NFL in this week's Chill Zone, presented by Coors Light. You gotta stick around to the very end. Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. February 1st, 2004, Reliant Stadium, Houston, Texas.
1:08 left. Tie game. Tom Brady leads the Patriots on a potential game-winning drive.
And once again, it all comes down to Adam Vinatieri's right foot. This is Super Bowl XXXVIII.
Yeah.
We're going to get into Ernie in just a minute, but first we need to hit the Dunkin pregame, where we fuel up on Dunkin to make sure we are ready for this interview. Let me get a little of my Dunkin. Baby. I just got a regular black coffee.
Yeah, regular. Kai Guy's got his iced coffee. I got my refresher here.
I like my ice regular.
I'm already drinking too many iced coffees.
Oh, boy. I think I'm more refresher than man at this point. Boy, is it good. These are incredible.
Those things hit you, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They hit you. Are they good?
Oh,
I
very
haven't had
good.
one. I'm going to try one in a little bit.
Very good. Dare I say refreshing.
So we got to fuel up?
We got to fuel up. We're just getting our bevs in us. Talking here,
Yeah.
prepping here.
Well, we got to make sure we hit with Ernie.
Got to go over our last minute details.
I'm curious as to what you guys think he's going to be wearing. Are we talking Madras? Are we talking stripes? Talking seersucker? What are we thinking here?
Here's what I'm going to start
It's
with.
summer.
I don't mean to cut anybody off here,
Yeah.
but I'm a student of Ernie. So first, let's open our weather app here. We got to do our research.
It's a nice day.
We're here in Massachusetts, 79.
79. What's the humidity level at?
Feels like it's 76. Humidity, 60%.
See, but it's a windy 60%. It's not windy, but it's got a little gust out there.
I mean, we have a whole pool situation at the Nut House here.
Yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we do.
All the umbrellas were in the pool.
Oh, yeah, we
We've
do.
got these giant balls. They're over the yard. It's bedlam down there.
Honestly, what's that thing called? The sauce puck?
Sauce toss?
Sauce toss?
I'm going to kick your ass on that later.
Oh, boy.
I've never seen that. I saw it out there, broken neck and all.
It's the real puck heads
Went
now,
got
sauce toss.
It was awesome. It's fun. I never really slap shotted something, or you don't even slap shot. You just flick it.
Little
I
wrist
want to see
action?
Pasta come in and freaking do those games.
All right, enough of this puck talk. What's Ernie going to be wearing?
Collared shirt, tucked in, probably a belt.
What do we got on the pants?
I'm thinking seersucker.
Short.
You think he's going shorts?
Nah.
I think something with a pleat. Something with a pleat.
Khaki always. Khaki
Always,
always.
I mean, this doesn't
Khaki.
need to be said.
I don't know. Is he going to have some topsiders on the feet? Is he going to have
Boat shoe.
something with a boat shoe? Classy.
He'll do some kind of loafer boat
Yeah.
shoe.
I could see that action.
All right, well, let's
Something with a collar. I'm putting it on that one.
let's find out.
Let's
Dunkin'
go.
Donuts. That was the Dunkin' Donuts pregame.
Pre-game, baby.
Let's have a great interview, boys.
Ernie, welcome to Nut House, Dunkin' House, Boston Dedham version. We are going to go over Super Bowl XXXVIII, Panthers versus the Patriots. In one sentence, Ernie, why'd you pick this game?
It was a crazy game, a lot of fun. very unlike any of the other games we played. But, when you kick it off at the start of the game, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's the first half, it's like old time. It's going to be like a 3-0 game, and it explodes at the end of the half. And it's kind of same thing happened at the end of the second half.
Now, Ern, you've been on the show. Is this the greatest game of all time?
Julian, I look at when you've won a Super Bowl, it's like children. They're all special. No, I mean, still, my favorite was Super Bowl 36 because it was the first one. It was when nobody else thought we could win. As I think I mentioned to you before, that's when we were truly just the little engine that could. I mean, John Madden's out before the Patriots out, but they have to play the Rams, and we know how that turned out.
We know exactly how that turned out. We'll jump into these games in a second. But what have you been up to since the last time we've had you on?
Oh, enjoying retirement. Just got through a 3-day session with Phillips Academy football camp. Getting ready to start a season. So we're good.
What do you do at these Phillips Academy football camps?
So actually, they had a little fewer coaches than they thought. So I was coaching linebackers.
Are you coaching?
Yeah, I coach. I mean, I was some great kids. I was trying to teach playing 34 defense. Put in the same terminology we used with the 34 at the Patriots.
You got these kids two gapping?
We got them two gapping. They know the Roy Lee calls.
Yeah.
Play cover 2, cover 4. What we call Fox Zero. Bring both outside linebackers. I mean, there's only one way to play the defense correctly.
Man, can you imagine being a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, having Ernie Adams come and teach you defense? That's crazy.
That's unreal.
Now, have you been watching football at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's the season. It's hard for me to watch preseason games when there's nobody on the field that I know.
Yeah.
And I understand they're very important because there are a lot of, young players want to get in the league, and this is their chance. It's just sometimes at 10 o'clock at night, it's, and now if I know, it's the good players are in the game. Definitely like to watch, but everybody is so conscious of injury. It's just nobody's playing in preseason. And of course we're 2 weeks from today, first game of the season. None of these guys have played 60 minutes. They haven't really played at game speed against, the real opponents. So it's, what Steve Young said something a few years ago, he said, September is the new preseason. Get over it. And he's right. When you were playing that third preseason game, the starters would play the first half and the first series of the second half.
Yeah.
And nobody's really done that. So the games count, but we got a month of preseason football coming.
Yeah. It's been really interesting. A lot of that talk over the last 4 years has been huge with the older guys and like how these new coaches, these younger coaches aren't playing their guys in the preseason. Well, it did a complete 180 flip. A lot of these guys played their starters first, second, third series. Like if you look at, and Andy Reid's a bad example because he's an old school coach, but you look at Zach Taylor. The Bengals played their starters.
Well, I think because the Bengals have struggled so much in September, maybe we should try something different. But I mean, at some point, you do actually have to get out and play some football at game speed. I understand that nobody. I remember the Patriots had a season about 1990. They lost 3 starters in 5 minutes in a preseason game, and it really messed their season up. And nobody wants to take that chance. But you do actually have to get out and play.
Well, I was recently at Chargers camp, and I was talking to Jim, and I go, man, sorry, coach, about Slater. They just paid this tackle, be their left tackle, highest paid tackle in the history of the game, tears his patellar tendon. And I looked at it.
By the way, great Northwestern player.
Great Northwestern player.
Shout out Wildcats.
That's right.
But I looked at it and I go, well, the optimism behind it, which was very similar to how it used to be, was training camp was so hard and you would play guys in preseasons that if you got through training camp and preseason, you were probably better off along getting through that whole season because it calcified you, got you ready for football. Now guys aren't playing that much, but the fact that you lost a guy early in the season, you can prepare for 3 weeks instead of having like a 4-game winning streak and then you lose your starting tackle and you haven't adjusted your roster at all. So it's almost, if it's going to happen, it's better to happen in the preseason and in camp so you have, some time to prepare for it. What do you think on that?
I would if you said, well, you can lose a guy, a good player in preseason or lose him in week 4, I say lose him in week 4 because you had him for 3 regular season games because
they're
once
too
you have that
important.
kind of certain,
The games are too important.
Yeah, hey, at the end, who gets in the playoffs? They look at W's and L's.
Yeah,
and it's these. Even though I say, okay, September is preseason football, these games count every bit as much as the games you play. The first weekend in January when it's, when you're in the playoffs, lose, you go home.
Yeah.
But this game at the beginning, is a huge factor in that.
Yeah.
So it's, it's a hard decision. It's, you're going to have players get hurt. You just hate to have it happen, in a game that doesn't count.
It just sucks. For the player, which we negotiated for this with the union, we only get 8 padded practices for training camp now.
Right.
That's crazy. I've been in TV for 4 years. Every beginning quarter of the season, all analysts are talking about, the offensive line just doesn't have it together right now. And it's because there's no more padded practices where those guys can practice and communicate and hit people together.
It's like Bill and I used to say, this practice stuff, it actually works. Listen, football coaches, they're not just sadistic people. I see how much they could punish people. Actually trying to get players on the teams ready to play real competitive football. And it's okay. So you go 8 padded practices in camp. You can have 1 padded practice a week in the regular season up until now I think if
week 14,
and then you get like in the last 5 weeks you get 3 padded practices or something like that. And I'm just thinking, okay, my first year in the league, 1975, we had the rookies, and now there was no ramp up, days in shorts. We went with the rookies. We went 6 straight days of doubles in pads. Okay. We gave them the 7th day off. Then the vets came in. We did the same thing. 6 straight days in pads. Gave them a day off. Went about 4 days of doubles. The next week, go play the first preseason game. Come back after that and have another 3 weeks. So we had more padded practices by the first or second preseason game than you get all year now.
Yeah.
And okay, I will grant you that may have been too much, but you're trying to get a team ready. You talk about training camp in 1979, which Ray Perkins took over as the head coach of the Giants, and it's Bill and I started on his staff, and Ray said, "Well, I want to do that first practice. We'll do our stretching, and we'll go right to Oklahoma drill." And our offensive line coach said, "Hey, Coach, I think it'd be a good idea if we just took 1 period, let them hit a sled, warm their shoulders up before we do that Oklahoma drill."
Yeah.
So I'd say, there you have it.
What's your favorite era of football? Because you've been in all 3, and what's changing even more?
They're all the game of football. It's constant evolution. Frankly, I enjoy them all.
Yeah.
And, it's the same things. Like I say, the guys who are really good players in the 70s, they'd be really good players today. It's the same game.
Explain that.
They have all the athletic ability, competitiveness, bend their knees, change the direction, do everything that you want a football player to do, they were doing that. You know, I mean, you say, what's the biggest change? It's, guys are bigger and stronger because every high school team in America now, what does their football team do?
They lift.
They lift weights. So, and I apologize if I told you this story on one of our prior visits, but from 1963 to 1968, when it was the Boston Patriots, before they moved to Foxborough, not the New England Patriots, where did they have their training camp?
Boston, Harvard, Boston College,
No,
BU.
they had it at Phillips Academy,
Phillies,
Andover, Massachusetts.
way off.
Way off. And the coach there, who I played for, Steve Sirotto, was football coach, great track coach, and he took the head coach of the Patriots, Mike Holovac, and said, Mike, send me your players down in our weight room. I can help them. And Mike Holovac said, why would I want to do that? Okay, now this is a head coach in the NFL. I mean, and now you have every high school player in America is lifting weights.
Yeah.
That's as much as anything else an enormous change in the game.
Now, is that where your sports fandom came from?
Oh, it was certainly, I mean, that was growing up.
What did Ernie Adams in 1963? What was
I was 10 years old. That's a little.
Well, I know, where did you learn? Like, who did you like when you were 10 years old? Where did this football obsession come from?
Actually, I was probably in 1963 a little bit more of a baseball guy.
Baseball guy.
Red Sox?
Yeah, and the Mickey Mantle was my favorite player.
So Yankees guy.
A Yankees guy.
Yankees guy from Boston.
Yeah, well, I was Mickey Mantle, so the Yankees. But then, I took the. And the football for me started at grade school, Dexter School, great athletic director. And it was, football was mandatory. There was no, I mean, it was all boys school. Everybody, September, October, into November, when sports period came, put on pads, went out and played football. That was it. I don't like football. That was a no-go. And everybody played football, and that's kind of where it started.
Who was your football team as a kid?
Kind of common, we only had, those are the days, you're very limited what you got. So I got the Giants every week on TV, so I watched them. Of course, I had the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots used to play their home games Friday nights in Fenway Park. And just to show you how things have changed, you could always get tickets to the Patriots game. Now, you want to go get tickets to the Harvard-Dartmouth game? That was a tough ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. That has certainly changed over 60 years.
Did you ever go to those games?
Sure.
You went to a Fenway
Oh, listen, hey.
Boston Patriots game?
Absolutely. I remember there was watch them play the Oakland Raiders 43-43. I mean, it was
43. Did they tied?
Yeah. No, there was no sudden death in the regular season. It was the score was 43-43.
What year?
That would have been, I want to say 64. I mean, that's a game I just
4 years, and that was the fourth year of the league of the team.
Well, yeah,
60
was the first, so it would have been the fifth year. But you had Babe Pirelli, Gino Capoletti. I mean, it was
October 16th, 1964. Ernie was on the money.
43-43.
That's right, 43-43.
Wow.
An 0-5-1 Raiders team, 4-1-1 Patriots team. After the tie,
the old heads.
That was coached by Al Davis.
Al Davis was the coach.
Yeah. Well, so that was really one of. I mean, you talk about a turnaround. He took over. I would say the year before Al took over the Raiders, I think they were 1-13. In '62, 1-13. He comes in. He gets them to 10 or 11 wins the first year. That was
I remember whenever we would play the Raiders, Bill would always give a huge historical digest of the Raiders organization.
The Raiders.
And Al Davis. How he's the only commissioner, owner, coach in the history of the game. We'd go in all the in-depth of this guy sued the league, this guy this, And
there was, of course, he brought him in as the coach, and he ended up being the owner. And there was a maneuvering there, shall we say.
What are your impressions of Al Davis? You ever meet him?
Actually, I mean, I made him shake. I met him once.
Shaking hands in the end of the game.
But Al Davis in 1978, he tried to get me fired at the New England Patriots.
Why?
Why? Well, because I was one of my jobs at the Patriots, I was in charge of film.
Yeah.
So it was organized, because there was now every game that's taped, it's digital, and as soon as the game's played,
Everyone gets it.
It's on the Dub Center. 2 hours after it's played, every coach in the NFL has that game on his computer. This was back when it was 16 millimeter film, can of film. You had a specialized film box, and you had to get it to the air freight company, get it to wherever it was going, and pick it up. So you had to send out your last 3 games. That was mandatory. So if I wanted a 4th game, I had a few friends around the league. I'd maneuver. Would you send me? If you'd send me this or make me a copy of this game, I'll help you. So, the Denver Broncos had played the San Diego Chargers. I want to say this was 1978. The game was on grass, which is where the Raiders played, and Al really wanted that film for his coaches to study. Well, the guy at Denver, he was somebody I helped, so there's no way I was going to send that, give that game to the Raiders. So I just said, no. So about a week later, Chuck Fairbanks calls me and he says, Al Davis was really pissed at that. He called Billy Sullivan and told us, you got to fire that guy. So Chuck said, hey, look, in the future, anybody wants film, would you please let me know about it?
Oh, Al Davis.
Oh yeah. I mean, but the people I had real good friends who worked for him. If you're a football guy, they really they loved working there.
Yeah, he's a football guy.
He's a football guy,
and he coached the game. He knows everything about football. May not have evolved with the times,
and they had. That stretch from, the 70s into the early 80s. I mean, they was good. They were. You always say there's maybe 4 or 5 teams that are legitimate championship contenders. I mean, they were one of them.
Yeah, I work with Howie Long, and it's so fun just to get a little of the inside knowledge of just the Raider mentality and the Raider way. It's there's so many different ways to the top. It was completely different than how we did it, but it was.
But you know what? Okay, say all that. So I mean, the reason I love John Madden was, in 1978, worst part of my football life. Darryl Stingley got his neck broken. Preseason games out in Oakland, and he could not. They put him in the hospital. They couldn't move him. So he was a Patriots player in the hospital in Oakland. And John Madden went to see him in the hospital every day. So, so all the Raider mentality, I mean, there's a lot of good people there.
Oh, yeah, no. John Madden, he's one of the most important figures of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Just, he loved teaching the game of football.
Right.
And I mean, he single-handedly probably made it an international sport just through his video game that he made, which he was very particular in making that video game.
Well, because again, he's like Al there, he's a football guy. Hey, there's a right way. I mean, yes, it's entertainment, but it's football, and we honor the game and do it the right way.
Yeah. Now, there's this term that goes around right now that if you're a guy that loves football and that ball, it's like these kids say ball.
Mm-hmm.
That guy knows ball. This guy doesn't know ball. What determines if a person knows ball to Ernie Adams?
If he can talk intelligently about what's going on in the field. I mean, if he look at the play, okay, this is what happened. Like I can tell, hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about.
Give me an example of that. Like,
if you see Julian Edelman running an option route. Okay, this so understands this is an option route. The pattern's designed. So we got good distribution of receivers. Julian's gonna make his break of coverage, throwing the ball. Just something like that. Okay, you actually kind of know what's going on out on the field.
Yeah.
You may not have to know every minute detail of Julian's his stem on the route or something like that. But you'd have, although if you really know ball, you do know those details.
Yeah.
But you basically can look at a game and have a real good understanding of what's going on.
Do you think everyone? You probably don't even watch TV, do you?
You mean just
in general, like on commentating and stuff? Who do you think out of all the commentators know ball the best?
Like I really like Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Yeah. I mean, when he when he explains things, it says, yeah, that's right. I mean, when Tony Romo doesn't get off on his tangents, he
Hold Jim! Hold on, Jim!
I don't know, Jim.
I mean, he's really good because, like when you're watching the game on TV, you can't see all 11. I mean, particularly on defense.
Yeah. So,
you do to a degree rely on the commentator as opposed to somebody who's just, that's wrong. That's not what's going on here.
Yeah.
But the thing that's great about TV is with all the cameras, you get some great camera work and showing things that you don't see watching coaches film.
1000%.
Which is higher. I mean, I love that shot we used to get as coaches. It's high on the sideline, high in the end zone. You can see it. But when the TV is right ground level, zoomed in. I mean, you can really, you can see, did the receiver really look the ball into his hands?
Did you watch all copies of cut up? So you would watch TV copy, 11, the all 22, sideline high, box line high.
The thing about when you're coaching is there's still only 24 hours in the day. Okay. I mean, that's good. Yeah. Now in the off, that's where you can really watch that is in the off season. Time's not a factor. Yes. Then you want to see, I want to watch the TV copy of this game, and you may see a couple of clips where you can you see something that you wouldn't see off a coach's film, and you can really use that to, improve your knowledge, improve what you're going to tell you.
Well, Ray Lewis used to watch them all the time. This guy used to call out our goddamn hook routes. He'd be like, "Hook," we'd be calling out our signals. And a lot of the times it was only a guy like him that would really take advantage of that. But you're going so fast. They can know what you're doing. They can't process it.
Right. But you know what? That's right. There's only a few. It's like, the speed at which Tom was playing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, Tom and Ray Lewis. I mean, they really...
We're playing chess.
They're right, and they can, they know what all the, it's not I have to look at you. I see this guy over here, so I know what that guy over there is supposed to be doing, and I don't have to think about it. But it's. One of my favorite coaches in the history of football, Tom Landry, used to say, "By the time you really know how to play this game, you're too old."
You're too old. It's true.
It's true.
And the only one who really defined that was Tom.
Right. Well, he's such an outlier. Okay, you got Tom. I mean, Warren Spahn won 20 games at age 43. I mean, Ted Williams had 1958 was one of his best seasons. There are almost freaky great players.
LeBron James is in that category now.
Right. So but you're talking about a really small number.
You know him. You love him. The big guy with the red tie is back in the all-new Donkey Kong Bonanza game on Nintendo Switch 2 system.
In this brand new DK adventure, he's teaming up with talented singer Pauline as they explore a wild underground world.
He can punch through walls, carve tunnels, and rip up chunks of terrain on his non-stop quest for golden bananas.
Unleash your inner Kong in Donkey Kong Bonanza, available now. Rated 10 and up, only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
And that's what I think a lot of these people don't understand, that Tom's a freaking outlier. Like when we got all these other guys that are, playing quarterback at the position that they're playing, and they're getting past their 38s. Like that's usually the number.
That's it.
And then, we're getting guys that are getting paid off Achilles hundreds of millions of dollars at 38, 30. I'm like, yo, you guys are they're not on the TB12 method, okay?
Yeah.
There's only one guy that plays into his 40s like that. And that's Tom fucking Brady.
Right. Yeah.
And that's because he was able to process so fast. And by the time the game got to that age, he wasn't getting hit like he used to.
Right.
So he could sit there and he knew where he was. You know what I mean?
So we're playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, and they got Michael Bennett.
Oh yeah.
And you know, forget blocking him. We were having a hard time. We would have had a hard time catching him with a net.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's 2 feet. And Tom was okay. We're having a problem blocking this guy. He's gone on top of him fast. I mean, I just got to get it out faster.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he could speed. You know, he could speed it up as much to whatever speed he wanted.
And that's why he's great. Now, we were talking about camera angles of watching the game at home. How are you watching the game at home now?
I sit down. I got my nice big TV chair. I have a commercial grade TV, and I sit there and I watch it. Now, if it's a team I'm interested in, you know, I will tape the game, and you know, I say, well, yeah, I miss you know, watching all 22. But I know Bill Walsh got to the point he preferred, you know, coaching off of TV tape because you could, you know, the stuff you could see that you can't necessarily see from up top of the stadium. It's like the difference between when I go to a game, I always say I want to sit on the highest seat in the stadium on the 50-yard line. Okay, which is basically where you're going to get the coach's film. Now, but you can also go sit in row 3.
You got binoculars when you're there?
I take them.
You take them. Yeah, all right, just making sure. Just take them.
I you know, don't use them a lot. But also, it's fun just to go sit in row 3 because that's a totally different. It's like that's
speed.
You're watching a different game in row 3 than you are from the top of the stadium.
Yeah,
it's so there's all different. It's like you know, watching a game from the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a totally different look, you know, than watching it from the
sideline.
From the sideline.
And without a doubt. But like, are you on YouTube TV now, where you get the package, and are you splitting up like all the games and having 5 games at a time?
Like I said, you know what? If I want to spend 18 hours a day doing that, I wouldn't have retired. I mean, okay. I mean, it's like.
So we're picking one game a week.
You know, I say, who are the teams that are interesting to me?
Who are the teams that are interesting this year?
Boy, like for me, most interesting a lot of ways is Denver.
Denver.
Okay.
Can Bo Nix and Sean Payton crick it up again?
Right, because I thought they had, I mean, I think Sean's a great offensive coach. I'll say, when he was at the Saints, I mean, in the offseason, I watched every game they played. So it's always, I mean, every game. So and you know, he goes into Denver, and it's not a great situation. They have really made improvement. So to me, that's, you know, what are they going to do now? So that's a really, and my little quirky way of thinking about the.
Well, Peyton's got a little crossover with you guys because he was a Parcell guy. Right?
He was Parcells. He got, you know, he used to be, because he got suspended for a year. So he was the one along with us who had some feelings about the, you know, about the league office. We had several times we had the joint practices with them.
I remember.
Now those were incredibly productive.
Can you explain to the listener why a joint practice is incredibly productive?
Okay.
Because there's been a lot of talk. Because now, I mean, we're seeing fights every freaking weekend with these dumb idiots now.
So here's the key to doing that. And you know what? As I mentioned to you, I just have spent a few days out at a football camp with Phillips Academy. There were 4 schools there. But what you do, and we had a joint practice yesterday morning with another school, just shorts and T-shirts. We went 7-on-7. But you get both teams together, and you tell them, look, any BS, you're being thrown out of practice. And like if we were practicing with the Patriots, say, Sean Payton can throw out a Patriots player if he's being a jerk, and Bill can throw out a Saints player if he's being a jerk. We're just not going to put up with it. Period. End of story. And that, you probably remember.
We were always pretty productive.
We were totally, but part of it was, look, you get both teams together. They hear it from both coaches. if there's, we're here to practice. We're not fighting. And if there's any problem, you are out. And, listen, if you really want to fight, we will buy you a pair of boxing gloves. We will set up a ring and go to it.
Yeah.
And, and we never, now the big thing is what we found was you can have 2 really productive practices. Trying a third is pushing it. So our first time we were at the Cleveland. So this is like 92 or 93. We went up to Platteville, Wisconsin, with the Bears, and they got, a real problem player. And the third practice was, we needed to kind of just stop it before it was going to get out of control. But the whole thing is, the biggest thing, you got to make sure everybody, get all the players, just explain what the ground rules are going to be, and you will get thrown out of practice if there's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's it, period.
And it's useful. Why?
It's useful because you go training camp, you're going against the same guys every day, the same offense, the same defense. If the defensive players are actually smart, they can listen to the quarterback's cadence. They can learn things. If a receiver's are smart, you can listen to
the before it was coming. The technique.
You can listen to the defensive backs going, Linda. Okay, I know it's a zone coming down to my left. It's like playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. A great defense. Over 20 years, like Tom would say, hey, look, I hear him going Buster. It's the same cover 2 check they've had for 20 years. Okay, like I'm not stupid. I know it's going to be cover 2. There's stuff like I'm going to say like 2 years, 2023 season. I'm watching the game at home on TV, and it's a Thursday night game. The Patriots playing the Steelers, and they always get an offensive lineman mic'd up, so you can hear. That's how you hear, the quarterbacks. But I'm listening to these guys. Wait a minute, they're doing their line calls, column blocking. Orange, yellow. I know what these. So I'm sitting there. I'm just sitting in my living room. I know what this play's gonna be. Know what that is gonna be. I mean, it's.
And so joint practices, you get to use your terminology.
Well, it's like the COVID year.
Yeah.
If you could actually hear during a game.
It was gnarly. You could hear the other coaches from the other side. It was like a scrimmage in high school. You could hear the personnel groups. Everyone, we could look and see. They're looking and watching us. It was fucking right
Senior
there.
night at Kent State.
It was senior night at Kent State.
Yeah, it was like there used to be a few stadiums like Minnesota, like the old Minnesota Stadium, where the two benches were on the same side. Okay, so they had, and from the 45 to the 45 is kind of the DMZ.
Yeah,
you stand on your side. Yeah. So I mean, the Patriots are playing the Vikings. One of my best friends, Charlie Summer, he goes a little bit. He turns around, stand right next to Bud Grant, the Vikings head coach. Hey, how you doing?
Back to the joint practice, you get to try.
You're going against another team. It's unlike a game. The film does not get distributed around the league. You have a very clear understanding with the other team. Nothing, none of this practice film will leave the 2 buildings. You're going against, your best players can go against their best players at practice tempo, but you get that first step. You're seeing,
it's huge for what people don't realize. It's huge for the evaluation process.
Totally. I mean,
how are these guys going to react? Like, this is like a baby game. I don't like, there's a lot of critics out there about these joint practices. If they're used right,
listen,
they are very.
I mean, if you go out there for 20 minutes and you got, it's like a 50 on 50 brawl, you shouldn't have come. But I really think it's the 2 head coaches set the ground rules at the start, and the big thing is, if we're going joint practice, you can throw out one of my players, and I can throw out one of yours, and there's not going to be, and we'll back you, and if you throw out one of my players, that's it. I'm going to back you up on that, and so everybody, I mean, it's okay. It's kind of like teaching 3rd grade. Okay,
Yeah.
you set out the rules. Everybody knows you, and they're gonna push. Try, can I get away with this? Get away with that? You have very clear standards. And
It is. bunch of dumb jocks just wanted to go kill each other. All right, guys, you can't do that.
Right? No, it's you know what, and they will probe and see what they can.
You always got it. You see where they go. I got kicked out of like the first practice with Gilmore. Remember?
Yeah, and that hey,
I pulled out his dread. I got one.
Went for the road.
I said, "Welcome to New England, buddy." I'm probably pretty sure the coaches liked it though.
look, it's football. You got to have a little edge. I mean, it's like you talk about head coaches. So George Young was our general manager at New York, and he was, kind of a football philosopher. He said, look, you don't necessarily want your head football coach to be a well-adjusted human being. I mean, when, listen, this is not like, what we're doing is not normal.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, but you have to be true to the game, and, but
They're trying to normalize football. That's what it is.
well, what they're trying to do is make it like basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can just go out, you shoot around, play, and okay, yeah, there's some contact under the boards, but it's football is different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it's.
I'm so interested to hear your take on the new kickoff rule. I've been watching it more and more, and these guys are all trying to do the pooch kicks in the land zone now. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I get that, and now we're seeing like, they're giving like. This kid, the Patriots drafted the second round Henderson. I don't know. This kid's got phenomenal acceleration.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, boom. So
Housed it.
I mean, every time he and they come back, get him on offense, they run a toss crack. He's going to go boom.
Yeah.
He is through.
I think that could be the steal of the draft. I said that earlier.
Right.
Smart kid, good kid. They say he's a professional.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got some real dynamic skill. But this is so I haven't
Watched a lot of it.
I haven't studied it enough. But you're all. I mean, you get one little crease in there.
And you're gone.
and
It's more like a punt.
Yeah.
But it's been really cool just to see what these kickers are going to do. You're going to really have to study like we used to. The kicker's approach to the ball.
Right.
Is he doing the Del Greco where he widens and then he skinnies it up and then he brings it to the one way, or is he tight right? Is he tight right or is he Del Greco?
And you'll love this. But working with my high school Phillips Academy team, we went against a kicker last year who used the Del Greco.
The Del
and I
Greco.
said, hey, watch the Del. And then I had to sit down and explain to him who Al Del Greco was.
Can you explain Del Greco? What is a Del Greco approach?
Okay, so if I'm a right-footed kicker, okay, and a soccer-style kicker, and I want to mortar it or pooch it over to the right, okay, to get my angle of approach proper to the ball, I'm going to go straight ahead at the start, then take the angle over, and then kick it. Because if I just take the normal soccer-style approach on an angle, it's really hard to make that kick.
Yeah. Tight right?
Right. So,
Well,
okay, you got to watch for this. First study the ball on the tee, where the lace is on the tee and all that. Watch the kicker, watch his approach, and he will tell you a lot.
I remember studying that with Scotty O'Brien all the time.
Yep. It's to say, hey, look, but I don't care if it's professional or high school. You're a right-foot soccer-style kicker, and you want to mortar it to the right. There's only really one way you can do it.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that play because it is a dynamic play. And ever since they moved it to the 35 now,
Yeah.
it becomes a factor. This is going to become a play.
Oh, listen. Well, I mean, last year it didn't happen. I mean, this year you say I don't really want the team, getting on the 35. So, now they're,
I mean, that's damn near one first down with some of these goddamn kickers and a field goal. The kid kicked a 70-yarder in a preseason game. That is huge.
Hey, listen, it's well, if you were there, you remember Steve hitting the 71-yarder in practice at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, wow. Granted, it's up at 7,500 feet, but that's why we went, we did, how long was it? 67 yards at the end of the first half at the Raiders in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Same
That was at 90. I thought that was at 92. Was it a little more? What was the elevation of Mexico City?
I was saying 7,500.
Just over a mile.
So that's why, that's why we were, we thought that was a good week of practice because we were exactly that.
get that wind type and all,
And then, of course, we got the Air Force guys out there with the Falcon come dive bomb at the field. And so you stand up there, you see the damn bird coming down 200 miles an hour. Oh,
It's scary. It's Ernie running from a lot of things on the practice field coming down, man. Ernie loves running from those things.
well, I didn't run from the Falcon because there's the guy there. This guy, he's standing there with his arm out. I know that bird's coming right there. That Air National Guard plane buzzing the stadium. I did not know what he was doing.
Head on a swivel.
Now, what do you think about the new virtual first down?
It's probably. I mean, like how many games have you decided by a measurement that far? Well, let's face it. If the measurement's that far, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. You trust the officials to do. I mean, it's like the all-timer for spots was the Snow Bowl. And the officials told us before the game, look, Coach, it's snowing. We're going to do the best we can.
Yeah.
And then, John Gruden challenged the spot in the snow. I mean, seriously, it's all white. You want to argue over 6 inches out on a field of snow? I mean, okay.
Did he win?
No. I mean, you would have had to be off by 2 yards to get. So yes, so listen. I mean, those contracts come to your house. They got the laser point. That's going to be spot on accurate. So it's that part.
I think it's better.
Yeah,
I think it's better. Now,
but you still have the official has to spot the crowd. And when you talk about an official spotting, particularly, and it's like challenging first downs. It's one thing if it's on a major yard line. Like if you have to get to the 20-yard line for a first down, then it's a lot easier. You can see he made the line and he did. But if you have to get to the 32 and the ball somewhere between the 31.5 and the 32, it's really hard to. Those are I mean the official if his spot is off by that much, it'll be a first down, not a first down, and he's looking at it from an angle. He's doing the best he can. I mean it's like umpires calling balls and strikes.
not anymore.
Well,
Robot's coming for him.
robot may come, but right now,
We haven't had you on since Vrabes became head coach.
that's right. And here we have the game we're going to talk about, Super Bowl 38. Coach Mike Vrabel, strip sack and caught a touchdown pass.
Strip sack and caught a touchdown pass.
Okay. No, I mean that's the good chance it'll be a long time for somebody else plays in the Super Bowl, has a strip sack and catches a touchdown
Long
pass.
time. It'll be now. What are your thoughts on how Coach will be as a coach?
What I remember, of course, about Mike was when we went defense, when it was the defensive show team out there for the offense, Mike played weak safety, and that was his position. If anybody else had gone out there and said, "I'm playing weak safety," Mike would have said, "Get the F out of here."
Yeah.
So he loved the running commentary on football. You could tell that Mike was totally into football, and I will say, some players you can tell if he wants to coach, he'll be a good coach. The question is, does he want to work the hours? Because it's not, if you're a player, you're getting the beating and all, but at least at the end of the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 o'clock, you can go home. For coaches, you're going to be there at 11 o'clock getting ready for the next day. Some guys just say, look, I love football. I really don't want to be here at 11 o'clock every night. Like Ryan Wendell. I knew Wendy'd be a good coach. He's at Buffalo. So I went over to him. We played.
He's at LA now.
Well, he started at Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I went, Wendy, how you liking this coaching? And he says, I love it. So if you actually, I know he knows the football. If he likes, actually doing it, he'll be a really good coach. Other guys, I don't, I mean, if you're coaching, you get up in the morning, your wife's asleep. You come back at night, she's asleep. I mean, it's the old Vince Lombardi thing with his wife Marie and coaching. On Monday through Wednesday, we don't talk. On Thursday, we say hello. But Friday, he's actually civil. I mean, during the season, and that part of it for coaches has not changed at all. It's like somebody asked, well, what do coaches do? Hey, the best book ever written on the subject was Vince Lombardi's book, Run the Daylight. It's minute-to-minute account of him going through a big game, in 1962. Now, and it's okay. So he used 16 millimeter film. They used tape film, but getting the team ready to play, it's the same thing. It has not. It is not. Maybe a couple plays are different, but the process for a coach hasn't changed.
It hasn't. So
Yeah.
So is Vrabel putting the hours in?
Knowing him, I'm sure he is.
I'm excited for them because you usually do take the personality of your head coach,
Right, and it takes. You take it, and it's not something you do in one off season or one training camp. I mean, you got to go through some.
And he's done that though in Tennessee. I mean, he has a resume. This guy.
No, he did a good. No question. I mean, he had. But I mean, as far as he did it at Tennessee, but you come in the Patriots, new bunch of guys, you start all over.
Yeah.
There's no anything he did at Tennessee. That's ancient history. Just like anything that the Patriots did when Mike was a player. That's ancient history.
Yeah, it is. Who's the smartest football mind you ever think you coached?
Ever coached? I have to be Tom.
Tom.
I mean, because he, first of all, in 20 years, I mean, there's nothing like having. I mean, you're the starting quarterback in the same offense for 20 years. I mean, it became and the offense really it evolved around him.
Yeah.
So he and he always we go up for Friday practice when I do the cards of the defense. You can't show me a coverage I have seen. Oh, okay, big guy, we'll see. So we used to have that was always a little bit of a challenge in there.
And that's why we used to get the when the coach was an offense or defense assistant at UOP or something, and he showed one blitz in 1984.
I wanted to make sure Tom saw it.
So that's your way of getting at Tom. I'll show you this coverage.
Yeah, and it's like, well, hey, what killed him every time was dropping 8 in the red area. Oh, he got so upset with that. Because the windows are small, and they just shrunk the even smaller.
The P drop.
The P drop in the red area.
He would get so mad.
Which is why he needed to see it, which is why we ran it.
Yeah. Do you ever remember a specific time you stumped him and he got really mad?
Oh, there's P drops in the red area.
Oh my God, those were fun. The Ernie cards, everyone knew Friday Ernie cards.
But it was because Friday is supposed to be your hard physical work days are Wednesday and Thursday. And what I really wanted to do, and totally encouraged by Bill, was we want to ramp up the mental preparation on Friday. So you don't just go out there and run curls against cover 3. Whoop-de-doo, you hit a curl at cover 3. So we're going to make first of all, make it challenging, make it interesting. I had everybody's attention. It's so easy to go out there. They know, hey, we're not totally full speed, never in pads. So you don't want anybody. You don't want anybody on cruise control, and that's the thing I really got from Bill Walsh was don't ever let players go on cruise control at practice.
Yeah,
that's even if it's not full speed contact, they got to be thinking every step of the way.
Yeah, they do, and every player I've brought up, every player that's been on Games with Names. The Ernie cards come up, at least Patriots. The Ernie cards come up, and they all have a strong opinion about it. It's not very good, but we'll move on.
Hey, you know what? It was, that's one of those things. If Bill and I liked it, it was good. Yep. Period. End of story.
Exactly. Now, have you ever met John Stryker?
I've not had the pleasure of meeting him. No.
Have you heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
What have you heard?
Well, I know, hey, Coach Mike Vrabel in the newspaper said that unlike me, he has a sense of humor.
Braves! We're coming after you, Braves. You just don't know the sense of humor. Maybe it's too high above.
Highbrow, baby, highbrow.
Hey, but you know what? That's why I love Mike Vrabel. I mean, particularly defensive players got to have a little edge. Mike's got a little edge, and that's what I love Mike for it.
Coach Pat McAfee, I heard Schrager talking about that this is his Ernie Adams.
There's only one Ernie.
There's only one Ernie, bro.
Come on now.
You can't be dropping EA in there.
We love you, Shregs, but that's bold.
Now, what do you think a good year is for Drake Maye?
Okay, so I think the basic standard is
Year two.
Year two. First year, you got to show some potential, which he did. Second year, you got to show some significant improvement. Obviously, we all love him to be, championship level quarterback, but you've really got to show some real significant improvement. Third year, you got to be a player. I mean, a guy who can go out and, when championship's on the line, you're ready to go. So he's clearly has shown potential. I mean, he's got to, we got to see some real progress here.
Now, what's progress look like?
All the little things like, I would say just watching him, he has a little bit of a tendency step up in the pocket, tuck it and run. And so step up, keep his eyes downfield, complete the pass for 15 yards. I would much rather have the quarterback complete a pass for 15 yards than try to run for 15 yards. If you want to run for 15 yards, give it to Henderson or Stevenson. But the quarterback's there to throw the ball. So, keep your eyes downfield, try to complete the pass. If there's nothing there, then you got to run. But it's just all the, processing things, faster. Knowing when like you run the 64 special.
Yeah.
Y shallow cross X on the in cut. You got to be able to see, hey, in 2 steps, my X is going to come open.
Coverage 2.
Can I hang with him for the extra half second or not? That was something like Tom was always a master of. He always knew where his outlet was. So he could hang, last second go to the outlet. He had a real good sense of the timing of the play. You say he's got to have a clock in his head.
The processing,
which is, it's really fast. There's bad guys coming trying to hit you. So, I mean, it's like where I've told a couple of young quarterbacks, I don't know if you've ever watched on, if I can mention the network ESPN, they do Formula One. With the camera right over the driver's shoulder. That's really good for a quarterback to watch because that's how fast you got to play. I mean, those drivers, there's no think about it.
No,
you just got to do it, and that's how you got to play quarterback.
Yeah,
try watching the Formula One and check that. Check that out for that.
Well, we watched NASCAR last night to determine our fantasy draft, and
okay, I'm a Formula One guy. Not NASCAR, but
why?
Because they actually have to make right turns.
But all they got to do is win the pole, Ernie. No one ever passes each other. You know what? But it's still there's some real, and I understand having the right tires and all that, but it's just, the courses are so much more interesting.
Did you see the new movie with Brad Pitt, F1?
I have not.
You're going to hate it.
I think you should take Christine to see it.
Okay.
Get a popcorn on me.
Like I don't watch it every week, but every time I do, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, this is the way for a quarterback. You gotta be playing. You gotta be processing information as fast as that driver's processing it.
Yeah,
you really do.
Because second drop, you're looking at the safeties on that special, and if that safety drops into cover 2, then you got to get backside of the high low.
Right. I mean,
and that's the shallow to that in cut.
Right.
So if that linebacker goes with that shallow, you better bang that in cut in.
And you have the hole's going to be small. You can't have any hesitation. I mean, you don't get a second look. See it and throw it.
Yeah,
that's what really differentiates quarterbacks.
So Drake Maye has to be able to process faster. That would be a successful year.
The faster he can process, the better he's going to play, and if that would get him going towards a successful year. I mean, everything else that comes with it. But
you think Josh will be good for him?
Yeah. I mean, I think Josh is, a good coach can help a player. And that's what I think, to me, I think players look at a coach and it's, can this guy help me play better or not? If the answer is yes, the player will listen to the coach. If the answer is no, forget it.
Now, I know you haven't been watching this team as deep as Ernie does. But what would you think the identity of this team would be, knowing that Coach Vrabel is the head coach?
Well, so my with Coach Vrabel, what I remember, apart from all the great plays, was the first game of the 2008 season. Okay, you remember that? You remember what happened? Tom hurt his knee. So we all knew coming in after the game, I think everybody, hey, Brady hurt his knee. He's out for the season. And there's Mike. I'm standing in the locker room. There's Mike Vrabel coming. Okay, boys, we're going to have a little different brand of football. And that's, Mike, hey, run the ball and play defense. That is so deep. I mean, I just know in Mike, that is so deep in his soul, that's not going to change. Yes, he understands you got to be able to throw the ball, but he's a defensive guy. It's the running game, it's defense. That's the heart of it. That's why he loved having, Henry is his back at Tennessee. You can just pound it. Yeah, that's his.
Brought in Deion Lewis too for a year. Remember, he stole Deion from us.
They stole, yeah. But I mean, to me, what's their identity going to be? That's going to be.
You control the game. It's more of a controlling style of the game.
Right. Well, but the thing you get into the NFL, you run the ball to control the tempo. You throw the ball to ring the cash register.
Yep.
And that, so you get, sooner or later, you got to be able to do. You've got to be, if you're a running team, great. You got to be able to throw it enough, particularly when you need to be effective. I mean that's really like Lamar Jackson's NFL MVP and all that. But when it's 3rd and 15 of the fourth quarter of the championship game, how good is he really going back and making the throw to pick it up? He's going to hit some of them. He might hit enough of them to win a championship. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
As opposed to, take the extreme case, you're down 28-3 with 2:12 to go in the third quarter of the Super Bowl. Everybody in the world knows you got to throw the ball. I mean, and that was always my standard for quarterback in the NFL. What you really want is someone who can win the game throwing the football, because he's the only guy in the field who can do that. And that's, I know people talk running. Hey, running quarterbacks are great. It's hard to be a running quarterback much past age 28.
Yeah.
It really,
For 18 games, for 17 games.
Right. I mean, so, you got to be, hey, everything's on the line. It's third and 17. We got to pick it up. I got to throw it. It's going to be a small window. I got to make a good decision, make the throw, execute the play.
All right. But lastly, before we get into this game, we got to jump into it. Have you been watching the ACC at all? Little headlines here and there. You got any projects from over there or anything?
No.
Hey,
I'm an interested fan. I will be watching next weekend when they play TCU. Not sure what I'm going to see.
We talked to Coach at all?
Just
briefly.
Briefly, I think they're working hard. He's not sure really, what it's going to. I mean, after half a century in the NFL, it's different going to college. I'm sure it's going to be. I'm sure he's going to be very interested to see the game too. Yeah. I think I know he's got their organized. They got the kids working hard. The college football is nuts. I mean, this is the Wild West with the emphasis on wild.
You got to recruit your players twice a year.
Hey, and it's like NFL free agency with no contracts. I come for you and check it out for a month in the spring. I don't like it. I'm going somewhere else.
It's crazy. Wait, what about Billy O? Have you ever talked to Billy O?
Billy O, I went over and watched a couple spring practices this year.
Yeah.
They've got. They're a good, solid team. Can they take over win the ACC? That's what he's building for.
Yeah.
I mean, they organize practices. They're getting a lot done. But again, it's college football is crazy.
So who do you root for when Boston College plays North Carolina?
They're not on the schedule this year. So.
Oh, you could have just said Bill.
My thing when I'm watching a game, I root for my friends. Like if I watch the Chiefs, I vote for the Chiefs because I love Brendan Daly. Okay, so he's
Coach Daly.
If I got two of my friends coaching, let's have a good game.
Let's have a good game. Let's have great execution, no fumbles, no turnovers.
Yeah, take care of the football. Don't be offside. Don't do stupid things. Our mantra. I had a little sign in my office. It was my mantra for about 15 years. Stamp out bad football.
Stamp it out. I'm on a mission.
Bad football kills you.
What's bad football?
Being offsides on 4th and 4, and you're the punt return team.
It's bad football.
That is really bad.
What else is bad football?
It's all the don'ts of the kick. Being offside.
Hitting the guy second.
Don't block somebody in the back. Rough the kicker because you jumped up in the air and left your feet. One of my real pet peeves, which Julie, I know in your rookie year, I think we had a conversation about this. Signal for a fair catch and don't catch the ball.
Yeah, he hates that because you can't hit him.
No. Julie, the reason as a returner you don't signal for a fair catch and then not catch it. As soon as you signal for a fair catch, the cover guys can run around behind you and play the ball. If they don't know if you catch it or not, they have to respect you. So if you're not going to catch it, fake the catch and let it hit the ground. Once you signal a fair catch, you're making it easy for the coverage guys to play the ball.
Yeah.
And that's, it's just all those little details that when they happen in a big game become big deals.
That was my first year. I didn't fair catch after that. Sponsored by Roe. How do you make time for intimacy and great sex in your relationship? It's like they say, always be prepared. And when it comes to bringing the spark back in the bedroom, Rose Sparks has your back. Rose Sparks is a prescription treatment featuring a dual action formula that includes tadalafil. That's the stuff that can keep working in your system for up to 36 hours. That's 36 hours of being ready to go whenever the mood strikes. See if you qualify at ro.co/sparks. These little guys dissolve under your tongue, and once they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. That means you can stop watching the clock and start, enjoying the moment. So if you're looking for a stronger, bigger, thicker erection, more control in bed, and better sex for both of you, it might be time to check out Rose Sparks. It all starts with a simple online visit. It couldn't be easier. Connect with the provider at ro.co/GWN, and if prescribed, you get $15 off your first order on a reoccurring plan. That's ro.co/GWN. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For safety information, go to ro.co/safety info. Let's go back to February 1st, 2004, where this game took place, and go over some of the pop culture, Earn Dog. Have you ever seen You Got Served?
No.
Dance movie?
No.
It's pretty good. Oh Yeah by Outkast?
No.
No. You saw Miracle,
Not
the
today.
hockey movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Herb
Yeah.
Brooks. You ever talk with Herb Brooks?
No.
You know any hockey guys?
I grew up with a lot of people who, played hockey.
Did you?
No, I was not. Yeah. I had in my grade school hockey team, there were like 7 kids who went on to play college hockey, and I could barely skate. So that was kind of a mismatch. Okay.
So no hockey. Super Bowl champions this year were the New England Patriots. MVP was Peyton Manning and Steve McNair. We're giving co-MVPs. What do you think about that?
That's most valuable player implies one.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean,
Who do you pick that year? I know you know them both. And you know both of these guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had Steve McNair. We had a phenomenal game in October, and then we played him in really the coldest game I've ever been part of, the division playoff and that they were tough. That was a tough team to play against. Peyton Manning was Peyton Manning. I mean, he was great. He brought him back from a big comeback in the regular season. We stopped him on the last play of the game. As I said before, we were in goal line defense. They were spread out. They tried to run the ball. Willie massacred Edgerrin James 3 yards in the backfield. That's why, I'll say it again, that's why when the Seahawks are spread out, great. If they'd handed the ball off to Lynch, we'd had somebody hit him 3 yards in the backfield.
3 yards. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
They think that.
I mean, look, if you want to run the ball to Marshawn Lynch, get people in there where you can cover up your edges and run it.
Yeah. LSU national champion with Saban.
Nick Saban.
Now, you think Coach Saban's going to return to the pros?
No. I think Nick loves college football. When we got to Cleveland, our first 4 years, Nick was our defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And when Nick came, he told Bill what he really wanted to do was be a head coach at a major college. So, Bill was totally fine with that. Like after our fourth year, Nick left and went to Michigan State. We knew that's what Nick wanted. I think he was much more comfortable. He won the national championship at LSU. He did 2 years at the Dolphins. Things probably would have been a little bit different if he'd gotten Drew Brees as a free agent, but he didn't. But I think he was just more comfortable being in a college environment.
What was his strength as a coach?
Look, all human beings are different. Similar in a lot of ways to Bill. Detail oriented, know the game backwards and forwards. Very demanding of the players. Wasn't going to take anything sloppy. Just wasn't going to fly with him.
What's the difference between him and Bill then?
As coaches, they're very similar. I mean, they're different.
Personality-wise,
different personality-wise. I mean, like Nick always had the Kentucky Derby. He always had we had a big poker game at his house.
Yeah.
Very.
Who's at that poker game?
Most of the staff.
Are you in there?
Yeah.
All right. What game we talking here? Are we talking Texas Hold'em, 7-card stud?
More probably like 7-card stud. And I had one person I'm not going to mention at the table because he's still in the league. He didn't think I ever bluffed. I bluffed him out of a big. You should have seen the look on his face.
Who?
I will let go.
But all right, were you a good poker player? You would think that you would be probably pretty great numbers.
I've played poker in my life. I haven't played poker in forever.
Yeah. What was Ernie doing in 2004?
Early then, well, I'll tell you what, I was trying to get ready to win 3 playoff games.
Now, how were you different than the 2001 Ernie? We were a little better known. I mean, this team. We had a real butt-kicking defense. I go watch our teams in 03 and 04. If I ever see that, I see a few plays, I say, damn, we were really good on defense. Yeah.
This was a dominating bunch.
Let's jump into the Carolina Panthers, and then we'll get up and we'll start talking Patriots. Let's jump into the game. Jack, break down these Carolina Panthers.
Let's get on these Panthers. 2 years removed from going 1-15, the last George Seifert year. John Fox comes in and turns this bunch around, goes 7-9. This season, 11-5, make the playoffs. It's their second year under John Fox. Jake Delhomme was at the helm. Solid backfield, little thunder and lightning action. Deshaun Foster, Stephen Davis. You got good receivers out there. Mushin Muhammad, Steve Smith, Ricky Prohl.
Can't go in a Super Bowl without Ricky Prohl. But Muhammad and Smith, they were a little better than pretty good.
Pretty darn good, baby.
Pretty darn good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Moose and Smitty. Pretty darn good. And then on the other side, you go over to the defense, Hall of Famer Julius Peppers. You got Dan Morgan. You got Mike Minter. You got Ricky Manning out here coming off the game of his life.
You got Chris Jenkins, a defensive tackle,
Jenkins.
who's a big-time player.
Chris Jenkins.
And when he came out in the draft, I can't tell you how much time we spent talking about him. So he was, some of those guys, we spent hours and hours and hours talking about. So some players, you just, okay, after going through that, I paid particular attention to them.
Yeah. Now, why'd you spend a lot of time talking about him?
Because he had played at Maryland and was really talented. Is he really the really the guy we want? Because he was obviously going to be I think he ended up going in the second round.
Yeah.
It's just some players are easy to evaluate. You say he's going to be a perfect guy for us if we can get him.
Who's one guy that you missed on that you had thousands of hours of conversations on that you wish you had that turned out to be a great player? The one that got away, Ern.
The one that got away. Well, I know. In a way, it might have been at Cleveland. Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp.
Wow.
Warren Sapp was a damn good football player.
But Warren Sapp was a damn good football player. But it was also a case of playing at Tampa and being able to play the wide three technique tackle. So he was playing in a spot that was geared for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So that can make a real, some players, they're playing for a coach in a system that doesn't necessarily fit them just right, and they can't really shine the way that they might someplace else. Joe Montana, truly a great player. Truly a great player. Played for Bill Walsh. Had a system that was really geared for him.
Yeah.
So how would Joe Montana have been the same guy had he gone to the 1979 Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah.
Maybe. Look, he won big game, big comebacks at Notre Dame. He may very well have been, but getting the right guy clearly in the right spot, the coach who knows how to utilize him, can really make a difference.
That is. But you guys, you did pick up a pretty good D tackle from Miami, Vince Wilfork.
No question. Yeah. They were right. The year after, and of course, that 2001 draft. All the time because we knew we were going to want a defensive lineman.
Seymour.
We took Seymour. In fact, that was down at the combine. We were, I must say, the precipitating factor in getting them to change the rule at the combine. Because you can have a player in your room for an interview, you got him for 15 minutes, the horn goes and you got to let him go. Well, this was back a little bit before the day. We had the 7 top defensive linemen. We had them all in our room at the same time. We had the doors locked. We had like 7 coaches. We go around, each interview a guy. The players stayed there, and they're pounding on the door. Let him out! Let him out! So after that, they went to the 15-minute rule. You could only have one player in your room for 15 minutes, and you had to.
Do you remember the question you asked Richard Seymour?
A lot of in a 15-minute interview,
But that was before the 15-minute interview.
Well, but it's still.
It was still 15-ish.
It's 15-ish. Tell me about some of the questions we asked everybody. Tell me about your athletic career. We wanted to know. Were you all state in 3 sports in high school, like a lot of guys were?
But you guys knew that.
Well, but I want to hear it from hear from him. How did it go for you? What were you thinking about? Why'd you go to Georgia? Who else recruited you? What was your thought process? And some guys it's, hey, coach, everybody in America recruited me. Other guys it's, I went to that school. They were the only school that offered me a scholarship.
Yeah.
It's
you get a lot from that. What do you get from that?
Just as this is just that combine is just kind of an introduction.
Yeah.
There's no way you can think I can go talk to somebody for 15 minutes, half an hour, and know everything about him.
Yeah.
I may have a sense. Hey, this guy's an interesting guy. Seems like a great guy. You might, unfortunately, every now and then, hey, that guy is a jerk. We don't want anything to do with him. Some people, you just turn you off, let somebody else deal with them.
in our other show, we spend a lot of time asking questions about certain dudes that determine what kind of dudes they are. There's a lot of similarities between the draft process. Is there a singular question that you think is the best identifier on what type of dude someone would be, like asking them in this situation?
What kind of guy the guy would be in a locker room?
Yeah.
We tried a bunch of different ways. Tell me about the toughest situation you've ever had to overcome in your life. I mean, one thing.
Dog. Determine if he's a dog or not.
Well, one thing that's really changed is now, at least it was, I haven't been to a combine in 5 years, but the agents would have the players really ready for these questions. So you can kind of tell when you're getting canned answers. I mean, when we started it, sometimes the players weren't ready for it. That's what you want.
Yeah.
When the guy's not real, you just want, really what you want is to get a guy where he's answer, he's giving you honest
Coach, I just
answers.
love ball. I just, Coach, I'll do anything you say, Coach.
Okay, really? Okay. It's
Just ask me one question, like I'm a draft pick that's elite at D tackle, and I'll answer it. Just ask me one. Let's play.
Okay. And you're a really good player.
Really good player. Probably like the top pick that's in the area. You guys could get him, but you may have to trade up one pick to get him.
Okay. Tell me why we should pick you.
Coach, I'm 6'4", 345. I have the best 20 in the combine. I had 11 sacks from the 3 technique. That's why you should pick me.
Okay. Have you ever missed a play during a game because you were tired?
Now, Coach, I'm 345. I tell you right now, on 3rd down or in a goal line situation or in 4th down or in the red area, I've never been tired. Has there been a 1st down when they're garbage time? We're playing Miami of Ohio, where I looked at the coach where I said, hey.
Well, okay. Well, son, we got the tape right here. Here's you on 3rd and 4. You look like you're not great hustler. Tell me about this play. Tell me about this play.
Well, Coach, that week my girlfriend broke up with me.
Hey, listen, hey, you're not the first football player ever had a girlfriend break up with you. What's going to happen to you if you got someone who's in the NFL who's been, thought she had her hooks in you for your money and she breaks up with you? How are you going to react to that?
Yeah, it's tough in there. It's tough in there with the coaches.
What do you think? You going to draft him?
Would you draft me, Coach?
I have to see your tape first. I mean, hey, really, but the number one, I know one of my favorite people who we talked about at great length was Bucko Kilroy, and he just said, he's the football philosopher. He said, in the National Football League, you should not deal in personalities, but nobody needs an asshole on their team. So to me, that's always the big, hey, number one, let's get down to it. Is this guy an asshole, or what's the story with him?
I get it. But there is good assholes.
You know what? The rarest part of the human species is an asshole who's worth it. That's just really rare.
Very rare.
Come around every day.
Pointing right at Julian when you're saying that.
A shooting star.
Let's get back into the scouting report of the Panthers, guys.
Wait, Ernie, I thought of you the other day. I saw Bucko Kilroy getting inducted to the Eagles Hall of
The
Fame.
Eagles Hall of
Shout
Fame.
out.
Well, and because he was, for all his, the football philosopher of the scout, he was a great player when he was there. He was a prototype defensive lineman, tough guy from Philly. I mean, they played without face masks. It was, hey, steer that guy over to me. I'll take care of him. Yeah.
Bucko.
That's a real
What a
player right
guy.
there. I love that.
Now, Coach, when you remember scouting this team, what were like the 3 things that you thought?
They were like all Dan Henning coach teams, a tough running the ball.
Was that Magazoo? Coach Magazoo?
It was Dan being the offensive
Coach
coordinator.
Mag. See, I grew up with Magazoo's son.
Okay.
Or not grew up, we went to college together. And I remember watching these teams, but
They were tough. I mean, they got 2 backs. They ran the wham. They run. It's a physical downhill running team. Those receivers were really good. So you got explosive passing game defense. Really turned around, getting Peppers and Jenkins up front. I mean, that was a team speed, hard, physical. Really, I mean, it was I love playing against them because that's in a lot of ways the kind of team we were trying to be.
Yeah.
So it's two, not identical, but similar teams.
Well, what do you think of John Fox as a head coach?
He was great there. Like I said, he took over a team that was 1-15, and they were a bad 1-15.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't like we had 6 games that were close. I mean, that was a bad team, and because John is he's very upbeat, positive. Get guys going, get them playing with enthusiasm, and did listen. This was After 2 years, that's as good a turnaround as you can get.
Yeah. Do you remember Dan Morgan on this team?
Yes, I do. I mean, he was, really good. One of the great players in all those Miami teams, Miami Hurricanes. A little easier. I mean, he's playing middle linebacker behind a really good defensive line. Very productive. Made a lot of plays. He's very athletic. Could run.
Yeah, he's their GM now.
Yep.
What do you think about players joining the front office?
Listen, that's great because they have the player's perspective. Okay, so that part of it is terrific. When they get to be a GM, they've got to be able to put. You can't just show up. Hey, I played. I could be the GM. I mean, all these guys you're talking about signing, are you really going to go study the tape, not rely on what somebody else tells you they saw on the tape? You got to see the tape for yourself so you actually know what you're talking about. But as long as somebody's really, put in the work, be smart, try to learn every day, great.
Yeah. What made Julius Peppers
phenomenal athlete? Look, I mean, you're talking about, football player, basketball. I mean, that's what, great athlete.
So you think he's like a basketball player that played football?
No, he's a great athlete who could play both basketball and football. I mean, he's a football player when he's on the football field. He's a basketball player when he's on the basketball field. But there are so many. Obviously, he was the first pick in the draft. Not many Julius Peppers, but so many of the players we talked with who were, tell me about your high school career. I was all state in 3 sports. I mean, I really like. I think it's terrible what's going on with so many young kids, 14 years old, specializing in one sport.
Yeah.
I am totally against that. I mean, hey, just be an athlete. Go out and play all the different games. Don't.
What does a multi-sport athlete tell you as a talent evaluator?
It's just number one. This guy, he's competitive. He's good at what he does. Athletic skill. He can do a lot of different things. I mean, if you're think you're going to be 14 years old, just specialize in one thing, and all your hours of specialization are going to get you a college scholarship. Well, actually, the kid who's the real good athlete and shows up, and after 3 plays, the college coach knows, hey, that's the guy I want.
Yeah.
I'm now a little different. You get to be 18 years old. You're a high school baseball player. You're kind of like, okay, you may go in the first round of the baseball draft. When you get up, later teen years, there is some specializations going to kick in. But for the young kid, I absolutely hate, 13-year-olds, they do nothing 365 days a year but play one sport.
I know.
Because by the time they're 16, they may be so sick of it.
Burned out.
I don't ever want to do this again.
I was like one of the last 3 sport athletes, like in my community, and then it started changing into this specialized.
Right? Yeah, and a lot of it's because parents and all.
There's a lot of money now, Coach.
There's a lot of money, but I'll say it again: the guys who hey, look, you can go out, you see 100 kids, and you see them running around playing games. You can usually pick out, hey, that's the guy right there. I don't care what the game is, that's my guy right there. And that's, inevitably. Now, also understanding the kids develop in high school. You may be 14 years old, you may be 5'7", and you may be graduating from high school, you're 6'4". I mean, so kids develop at different speeds.
Yeah.
But don't try to stuff them in the a little box when they're too young. I'm on up on my soapbox on that, but I really feel strongly about that.
I get it.
But so Julius Peppers, he's a great athlete. He played,
We call him a freak, and that's a freak of an athlete.
We're right. Hey, there aren't very many of them, but when you see one, yeah.
That's exactly how you define a freak on Dudes on Dudes. Steve Smith Sr. told us that he almost became a Patriot. Do you remember that?
I know we were really, I'm not sure exactly what he was, but I mean, we were really interested in him.
Yeah.
We thought he was terrific. We would love to have had him. And, I mean, sometimes things just like later in his career when Julius Peppers was a free agent, and I can't even tell you what year this was, Bill was right. Hey, we should really think about signing this guy, and, unfortunately we didn't.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. Let's jump into the Patriots, Jack. Let's go.
Let's get into these 14-2 Patriots.
14-2.
Fourth year under Bill Belichick. Charlie White's leading the offense. Romeo Crennel leading the defense. Coming off a 9-7 year where they missed the playoffs. The season before, won the Super Bowl, of course. Beat the greatest show on turf. Released Lawyer Malloy 5 days prior to the season. That was a big early storyline. Dropped week 1 to Buffalo, coincidentally. Signed Rodney in the offseason.
31-0.
31-0. Man.
Well, and by the way, just let me know, the last game of the regular season, we beat Buffalo 31-0. Just saying.
Full circle.
The game, so we lost to them. It ended up with us down on the goal line. The last game ended up with them down the goal line. Larry Izzo made the big play to preserve the shutout. And there we go.
Oh, Izzo. How'd the locker room take that?
Some guys were a little shocked.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it's the unfortunate in a lot of ways. Unfortunate, some business decisions that get
brought in Rodney Harrison.
Brought in Rodney, who, I was a huge advocate for signing Rodney. He came in, and I remember I had a friend who was out at the Chargers say, "How's Rodney doing for you?" And I was honest with him. I said, "He's the best safety in football." So, yeah, he's doing pretty well for us.
And speaking of Rodney, we got to shout out this defense. Gave up a league low 14.9 points per game.
This was a butt-kicking defense.
Why?
Well, just look, we're a 34 front. I got Mike Vrabel and William McGinnis on the edge. We got Ted Washington, Richard Seymour, and Bobby Hamilton on the front. You got, inside backers, you got Ted Johnson, Roman Pfeiffer, Teddy Bruschi. You got Ty Law out of corner, Rodney Harrison at strong safety. I mean, this is, look at them. This bunch means business.
Oh, yeah.
Physical, dominating, and we had real complementary skills. For instance, if we're in our 34, Eugene Wilson was basically a corner type player who we put at weak safety. So if you were in like these guys did a lot, regular people, so you had 2 backs and a tight end. Rodney Harrison was on your tight end, and Eugene Wilson's back at weak safety. If they came in with 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers, well, Gino went up and covered the slot receiver man-to-man, and Rodney dropped back to weak safety. So we could handle, we had players,
a lot of flexibility.
And then we had, what we loved was Ty, and we played cover 2. Rodney go out corner, and Ty would be at safety. Now you talk about corner forcing the run. Well, it's one thing if it's a corner; it's another thing if it's Rodney Harrison out there. Yeah. So I mean, it was just a physical, dominating group.
Now, what was the difference between these generation Pats and the generation Pats that I played?
We were probably the biggest one was offensively. We were good, but we didn't. We put the rocket fuel in our offense when we got Randy Moss and Wes Welker. That 2007, we were a good offensive team. We became in 2007. We went on for about 12 years, realistically, the best offensive football. Okay, we weren't quite there on offense at that stage. It's also, this is Tom playing his 3rd season as a starting quarterback versus his 15th year as a starting quarterback. I mean, that really makes a
lot of difference.
It makes a lot of difference. So defensively, our 03 and 04 teams were the best defenses we had. I mean, these were the guys, they're just going to go out, they're going to kick everybody's ass, shut them down, and they were a dominant group.
Yeah. I just don't understand how you guys didn't make the playoffs the year before, and then you guys.
So there were a lot, number one, we didn't really, you can talk to a team about what it takes to repeat as Super Bowl champs. It doesn't mean you're going to necessarily get it done. The team that wins the Super Bowl, their season is a month longer than everybody's else, so their off season, it's just it's almost like you don't have an off season.
Yeah.
But if you're not, before you know, hey, it's ready to go for training camp. Are you really as sharp as you were last year?
Are you healthy?
Are you healthy? Right. It's your recovery time is shorter. So that the difference between winning and losing is so small. We were, just didn't quite have our edge.
Yeah.
So
it's tough.
Yeah.
And it was you guys were, still younger on the offensive side of the ball.
Right. This was
They didn't know how to handle success, maybe?
They're definitely part of it. And, as a franchise and a team, we evolved as we went. The team, even as coaches, we had a much better sense, after, what we needed to do after we won a championship. As far as getting a team ready for the next year.
That's why it was so impressive last year with the Chiefs. To get to the Super Bowl after going back to back, I thought that was Patrick Mahomes' most impressive year. Everyone says he had a down year. He had no receivers. The line was band taped together, and he was still winning football games.
Right. You watch that Super Bowl, and those defensive ends are meeting at the quarterback.
That wasn't even close.
Well, they got crushed.
Yeah.
That was not. They were not competitive
with 4 guys.
Yeah.
And then you just put everyone in the back. It's tough.
But that's so the Chiefs have lost. They've lost 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and the common factor is in both of them, their offensive line was just was hurt, beat up, and
which people don't understand. That's understandable going into your 3rd Super Bowl in a year, or 3rd in a row Super Bowl. Like Ernie just said, you have shorter off seasons. It's harder to keep the guys motivated. That's a lot to get to a 3rd Super Bowl. I think that was insane.
That's one thing I remember listening. When the Chiefs, I listened to the TV people. I think the Chiefs won their first 2, and they say, well, they can go in 3 or 4, and. It is so incredibly hard to win 1.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably hard. You've got to go out and beat the best teams, and
a lot of it is just when you sustain success for a long time. Our best teams on my generation there, we didn't even win. We got unhealthy at the wrong times.
Well, we were
in 15, we started out hot.
Over the course of our team, really, I went into every game thinking we're going to win.
Yeah,
I was never thought. I never went into games saying we're in trouble, except for the AFC Championship game in 2015. I walking off that field, we were so. I said, "Oh Lord." We are
didn't have Nate Solder. We were really banged up at tackle. It
was it was like the walking wounded, and we got to go out. We got to go out and play in Denver. It's just I really thought we're probably in trouble here.
That's when we had to put the double Denver in because Von Miller was in the backfield before we even. What the fuck is that? Holy shit! Yeah. I didn't get off the line of scrimmage. I see Von Miller on Tom.
Yeah, hey, if football, it's a nasty game, and stuff like that does happen.
It does happen. Jackie, let's jump into the game. Lead up.
Let's get into the lead up of this game. The Panthers responded from a late 3-game skid, win their last 3, win the NFC South. Notably, go into Philly, pick off Donovan McNabb 3 times, Ricky Manning alone. That was a Ricky Manning 3-interception game.
Rookie.
Over in the AFC, Patriots, of course, were on their win streak, won the AFC East, win the AFC number 1 seed. Peyton Manning comes into Foxborough. We got the tie law game. I fought the law and the law won. 3 interceptions, pick off Peyton Manning 4 times, win that one 24-14. Just one of the all-time Ty Law defensive performances.
Was that an all-time performance by the defense in a championship game
Yes, but
against the Colts?
Yeah, it was. But truly, it's the way we played defense all year.
Yeah.
I mean, this was, we were really good on defense.
What made Ty Law so good that game?
Ty is a wonderful personality for a defensive back. Loud. I love him. Some people think he's, a little brash, which he is. But you got to have that to play corner. Well, I'm Ty Law. What the fuck you say?
Shot o'clock.
Get out here. This is what, you need that. Defense is not those quiet, studious types. That just doesn't work.
No. You need your corner. If you have an all-time corner, they need to say their name in the third person. And that's like Dion used to do it. I mean, all the greats use their name in third person.
Island, got to.
Revis. Now, before this game, what was the thing to the team? What did we have to do to win? We just had to stop the run game, not turn the ball over,
stop the run,
score in the red area, and convert third downs.
Stop the run, contain their wide receivers,
which was tough because they ran so well. And then you get great matchup one-on-ones on the outside.
85-yard touchdown.
This is, like I said, people always say, well, nobody wants to play this team in the playoffs. Nobody wants to play that team in the playoffs. I mean, this is crazy. If you actually want to win the playoffs, you're going to have to beat the best teams. So bring them on and let's go. If we're afraid of playing the best teams, we're not going to get there anyway. There's no secret number you can call up. Would you send me a bad team for the Super Bowl? It doesn't happen.
So that was the storylines going into this game, that this was a red-hot freaking Panthers team that was not beatable.
Well, they were red hot. We were red hot. You get to that game, for the most part, everybody's beatable. It's 60 minutes to play for a championship. Who's better in that 60 minutes? It's like Bill would. I know you heard this as a player, but say, fellas, I don't need it in the middle of February. I need your best right now. It's everything. I need everything you got right now.
Right now.
And that was, if you remember. I'm going to jump ahead about a decade. When we went over, getting ready to go play the Falcons in the Super Bowl, we had the meeting, and then we walked right out of the meeting, went on the bus, and go play the game. And Bill said, I want every person in this room to know I picked you to be on this team to win games like this. I know you're going to show up. You're going to give me everything you got. And hey, look, we're going to play the best football we can. If the other team is better, we lose. We understand that completely. But we're going to show up and give it our best, when it counts.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's good enough.
That's all you can do.
That's it, right?
How about this lineup for the coin toss? You had Y.A. Tittle, Earl Campbell, Dom Maynard, Gene Upshaw, Mike Singletary, Ollie Matson.
I just watched. I watched the full. I think it's the first time I actually watched the full TV broadcast.
Okay.
And I saw these. So I saw. I remember Y.A. now being 10 years old, watching Y.A. Till throw 5 touchdown passes every week for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Was
that your favorite football player?
Yeah, he was so. He was one of them, but he was.
Any funny Y.A. Tittles?
He came out so that was in the early '60s, and then about 1979, my first year coaching at the Giants. Y.A. Tittle comes out to practice.
Yeah.
And we're watching him. He was so smooth. I mean, he's 50-some years old. He was so smooth, throwing the ball.
He's still throwing at 57.
Yeah, not driving an 18-yard comebacks, but you could just see the throwing motion. Oh, that guy was good. It's like we played down in Jacksonville the last game in 2012, and Kenny Anderson was their quarterback coach, who might have had his quarterback mechanics were as good as anybody's. And he's out there warming up with the receiver, just watching the game. And I told that corpse, hey, watch that guy. Now that guy can throw it.
Heck yeah.
Give us this game breakdown, Jackie.
So the first quarter, we alluded to this a little bit earlier. Defense shined, led the way. 21 offensive plays for Carolina, minus 7 yards total. Scoreless first quarter. Adam Vinatieri notably misses a 31-yard field goal on the Patriots' first offensive drive. We get to the second quarter, misses another one, 38-yarder blocked. Then we fast forward a little bit. The Vrabel strip sack leads to a touchdown, and that's kind of when the floodgates start opening. 24 points scored in the last 3 minutes of the half. You got Brady to Branch. Jake finds Steve on a 39-yarder, and then Brady to Givens. Then Carolina finishes the half with a field goal. So it's 14-10 after a scoreless first, taking us into the half.
Now, what do you think it was about the scoreless first? Just the Super Bowl noise and getting used to each other? Both?
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, we got down there, we missed a field goal. It was kind of like, we had it bottled up and then just, it exploded.
Kind of like each team's putting their things to see what teams are going to do to their thing, and then you make the adjustments off the adjustments.
Yeah, I mean,
feeling it out, but you shouldn't be, but you kind of are.
Yeah.
It's because you have 2 weeks to prepare for this thing.
Right.
People don't realize that.
Yeah, and listen, you have your brilliant game plan. They got their brilliant game plan, and we put them together, and you don't really know how it's you don't know how it's going to work. And sometimes you get in these games. I know one of the my fun things I did was I always did when we would go in the playoffs, did a little video, and I called it "One Play Can Make a Season." And a lot of times it's one play in there, like one guy getting his hand up an extra 6 inches to block the field goal. It's somebody doing the little detail that can really turn things around. And it's like, you've heard this 100 times from Bill. Fellas, it'd be easy if I could tell you before a play, this is the play that's going to decide the game. Well, I know if I said that, you would absolutely give me 100% on that play, but it doesn't work that way. You never know when that play is going to be. That's when you got to give 100% every play.
Now, what was the play in this game?
I mean, it might, listen, the ones... It's Vrabel's getting the strip sack. It's like a great job executing a read game when he's coming with that little detail.
What's a read game?
A read game is when the outside linebacker's coming off the edge with the defensive end, and the line may fan out to you, or they may not. If they fan out to you, then Vrabel comes underneath. And he comes wide open, which is what happened here. But it's just doing that, the right stunt at the right time, and boom, there's a big play. There's a couple other plays in there just before we went down. We went down the touchdown there where we went ahead just to see Tom in the pocket. And he never got enough credit for being able just to slide away from a guy and make the throw. I mean, there's like classic shots of him just moving,
just a little,
just enough. Just enough so I can make a good throw. I mean, it's in these big games. I mean, it's people doing the right things at the right time, and so if you don't execute the read game right, there's no do-overs.
Yeah,
I mean, it's right. It's now or never.
So we go in at halftime. What's the halftime mantra?
Those Super Bowl halftimes are so long. It's just really everybody, don't get all hyped up here. Take your time. We'll just go play our game. There was no, really, regardless of the game. I mean, I would say our halftimes are fairly calm and organized.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no bedlam in the locker room.
Was there anything that you remember, like Charlie Weiss saying that they had to do to the offense to get this thing to break out to, scoring?
It's always, hey, just, we're doing, I mean, at this stage of the game, we've been playing football for 6 months. We got to, we've got our offense. We got to just go out and execute it.
Yeah. Now, what did the Panthers do to change on offense to get some points?
Well, see, the problem, where we got it, particularly at the end there, I was talking about our defense with the safeties. They were both hurting out of the game. We're playing. So they got Steven Smith and Musa Muhammad. We got Maye and Akins there as a special teams guy playing safety. We're kind of we got a little problem here.
Yeah.
So I mean, and of course we end up with the game. They score to tie it up and kick it out of bounds. So we get the ball on the 40.
Now, is that the play?
That was huge.
Is that the play? If Coach Belichick was in front of that kicker and he said, "This is the play that could decide the game."
Hey, listen.
Do you think he would have kicked it out of bounds?
Probably. I hope. Well, I don't know. I don't know for sure what he was trying to do, but I know it was a bad kick.
No.
And by a good kicker. But there's no do-overs. We get the ball on the 40, and we got Vinatieri over there, so we go make enough. Yeah, and we get we got to overcome a 1st and 20. Troy got called for offensive pass interference. So first we overcome it. Tom makes a couple big throw to Dion, and Vinatieri we missed too early, but when it counted, he put it right through the middle.
Now, did you guys had full confidence in Adam at that point?
Totally. Yeah.
Now,
listen, it's he missed it. He's our guy. We want to get him in position, to win the game. It's like, that last drive of Super Bowl 36 against the Rams. We got to get Adam a chance to win it for us in regulation. Of course, it was pretty good. I had up on, we had the TV monitor to look at for replays, and I happened to see on the TV replay, like Adam Vinatieri's 47 out of 47 kicking inside. Yeah, it'd be a good idea to get him a chance. Yeah. Just reinforce this, yeah.
Now, can you walk us through the game-winning drive, beat for beat? Like, what's the mindset of the coaching staff when you see balls in the 40? All right. How do we approach this?
Okay, we know we need 20. We need 25 yards. We need 25 yards to have a realistic chance to kick a field goal, because you're not going to try a 62-yarder that if you don't think you can make it and give them the ball where they complete one pass and they go for the winning field goal. So we got to be smart, but
last shot mentality,
and this is what we do. We have confidence in ourselves. Let's go play.
Now, what's the difference between Brady in his first Super Bowl game-winning drive and then this Brady in the game-winning drive?
He'd done it before. So, it was like, hey, we've been there, done that. Kind of. That's where.
Were your guys' confidence through the roof on this? Like, you guys were winning the game after that?
No, I think we all thought, hey, we got a really good team. We know what we're doing. Let's go. It's not. We didn't try to. We tried to tone it down. Trash talk. It's just we're not going to win games talking.
Yeah,
that's never. And that was something that was totally consistent throughout the whole our whole time with the Patriots. Just go out and play.
Walk us through that final drive.
Okay, so we get the we start with the 40, and now I remember we catch the ball and we make a completion. Troy Brown catches the 1st and 20. We did a couple of times in this game. Got the quarterback moving. Hit the big pass down there to Dion. We're positioned to kick it.
Yeah, and then it's like that.
Yeah, that's, and it's like, hey, we've been practicing this for 6 months. We got to do it right now. Tomorrow's not going to do any good.
Had to overcome something too. A 1st and 20. That's not easy to freaking overcome.
No, totally. You're right. And this is where, even though we weren't the same. We weren't the offense here that we were 4 years later. But when we had a 1st and 20, we went and picked it up. The other thing we did in this game was, we just took it and ran it right at them pretty effectively. So, it was, we controlled the tempo of the game. We get down there, we miss 2 field goals. Those were huge. But, we were controlling the tempo of the game. But they had big time explosive players. So,
who were you next to when Adam was lining up to kick?
Yeah, boy, that's
the game winner.
Usually, because I always had in the coaching box, because I had to look at the monitor to tell Bill if we were going to challenge a play or not. So I always sat wherever the monitor was in the booth, and sometimes up in a corner, sometimes in the middle. So I don't remember exactly who was sitting where. And sometimes if the monitor was up high, like attached to the ceiling, I stood up.
Yeah.
I always put myself wherever I could see the monitor best. So I don't honestly remember. Usually my man Scott Pioli was right there. Though.
Oh, Pioli.
Our main man, friend of
Now,
the show.
how long does it take for you to get down after the kick?
The total chaos at the Super Bowl starts like. So in this one, I think we just got, actually the elevator was right outside our door, so it was down pretty quick. We played Super Bowl 46, where we lost to the Giants. They weren't bringing the elevator up to the top level. So not only do we lose the damn Super Bowl, I had to walk down the stairs with the fans from the top of the stadium to the bottom.
That's the walk of shame.
That's the walk of shame, boy. You got it. And then, it's the whole, it's just chaos out
Did
the
anyone
field.
know you, Ernie? Anyone shout you out?
No, they didn't know me. Hell, the security, like we won. I think we beat the Seahawks. You come down, they got the podium up there is all roped off. I mean, they weren't going to let me in, under the rope line. I said, buddy, I'm a coach, I mean, it's
Mayhem.
And that's what, Bill was really, he said, I remember the meetings before the games. He said, look, if it's a tight game, 30 seconds to go, all these goddamn, excuse my English, photographers are going to want to get on the field. They're going to be crowding and pushing. They're ready to go. And that's when, we had people assigned, the strength coaches. Your job is to keep those people out of our bench because they're, it's
mayhem.
Mayhem.
Man, can we talk about lastly before we move on and we grade the game? Why is Mike Vrabel such a great red area target?
Oh, well, number one, this was a goal line pass. So it wasn't like we didn't spread out and we to run some fancy route. I mean, it's like 136. I mean, we were crossing.
It was still a crosser.
A crosser on the goal. Traffic. But they got they got to play goal line defense. They got to fight through picks. I mean, it wasn't. He made a really nice catch and we scored. I mean, but what those goal line passes, it's everybody packed in. You got people going one way or the other. He came wide open, and game on the big play. He caught the ball.
Yeah. Caught the ball. That was at his play.
That was, and it was, but that's I mean, Mike pre-game. He's out there running around catching balls. So that you talk about who just as a player, a guy who just liked to play ball. Mike Vrabel liked to play ball and that's why he was he's so good.
Where did the idea to actually use him on offense come from?
Because in the NFL, you can only your roster on game day
46.
is limited. I mean, you don't have. It's not like college where you can dress 6 tight ends. So we got Vrabel playing tight end. We got Richard Seymour playing fullback. I mean, you just get into. You want your big guys in the game on the goal line. If a defensive lineman can play fullback for you, that's huge because you may not. Sooner or later, you have to get. It's like people playing offensive lineman at tight end. It's you run out of people.
Roster size is so much smaller that it's such a. It can determine how you carry your roster for that game if Mike can cover 2 spots.
Oh, listen.
But even throwing to the guy and he's a defensive end, throwing to him in the Super Bowl.
But you know what? You can't if he's in the game and they call 136 all cross. He's the X. He's open. You got to throw him the ball. I mean, it's not like he's a D. You don't have time to process. He's in the game. He's there. Throw him the ball.
Yeah.
You can't be worried about shit. It becomes a problem when you get the quarterback. I got this route over here. I don't think that guy's going to catch it, even though he's open. I'll go someplace else. That's when the whole thing can start to break down. I mean, it's. It can be you get a few guys hurt. I mean, it can. There's problems that as you know, that can come up on stuff like that.
A lot. The aftermath of this, the franchise wins their 2nd Super Bowl. Tom Brady wins MVP, his 2nd of his 5. Carolina had a Super Bowl slump the very next year, going 7-9. New England would go and repeat. and then draft Vince Wilfork, Ben Watson in that next year's draft, which turned out to be two really good football players for the organization. New England would go back-to-back. Carolina would return to the NFC title, failing to Chicago. And then New England would take their win streak from week 8 of 2004 to 21 straight games, including the playoffs, which would be a record.
Until we went into Pittsburgh and got our butts kicked and
Tyler
put the
broke
ball
his
on the
foot.
ground. Yeah. But no, that's a.
And we got to wrap up with the final score here, 32-29. Patriots beat the Panthers, just to put a bow on that thing.
Wow.
Next time we got to go into the halftime show. There was some wild stuff going on
Listen,
there.
the other thing you got to go in, there's some, and I had never seen this, there's some mind-boggling Bud Light commercials.
Bud.
Like this,
Why?
Like there's some stuff on there. I didn't know it was legal to do a commercial like that.
The Wild West back then.
We got to have an Ernie commercial episode where we just sit and watch
love that.
Super Bowl commercials.
I love that.
How do you hear about the commercials when you're at the game?
I didn't. This week, I was like
watched
3
it?
days ago.
Oh, you're watching this week, yeah.
The video guys, they gave me a DVD of the TV, and I always told them, I want the whole thing. I want the commercials. I want a record of everything. So I never seen. I just watched it. Oh my god!
Jeez,
Did you watch
Ernie,
the
have you
half-
seen commercials these days?
Yeah, because I watch the game on TV. I don't have a
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, this I said, move.
Did you watch the halftime show?
Yeah.
You did? What'd you think?
Oh,
I
man.
said, oh, okay, now I understand wardrobe malfunction.
Hey, but it wasn't done. And then you get a streaker to open the second half.
No, that was now actually, okay. We got the on the NFL or there's the NFL DVD, which I also has the streaker on it.
No way.
Oh yeah.
They cut away on the other one, the other broadcast.
But
Yeah.
no, but this is like because when we had the ring ceremony, they showed some highlights. They had that on.
I never saw
You know,
that.
okay, so what happens? This guy, the famous streaker, he gets out there and he's got a ball and he's going out to the kicker and it's whoosh, and all of a sudden he's standing out there with his sneakers and his jockstrap, and everybody's kind of, nobody knows what to do.
There he
And
is.
Okay, and Matt Chatham's getting pissed off. He's getting pissed off, and finally he just comes and he's going to drill the guy. And this guy's he's got an NFL player coming right at him. I mean, it was, and of course we're at the ring ceremony and they're showing this, and everybody's, come on, Matt, go get him. Come on, Matt.
Everyone probably went wild. Man, let's name the game and then score the game. And then score the game. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score. It's decimals encouraged. Ernie, we came up with these names: the Forgotten Super Bowl, the Underrated Super Bowl, the Automatic Adam Game, the Janet Jackson Game. Or is there another name that you have?
Those I'm definitely going with underrated.
The Underrated Super Bowl. Or anything else that comes to mind? What did you like to call it?
Yeah, that's a good.
All right, let's score the game. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Decimals encouraged, Ernie. Super Bowl 39, Carolina versus New England. The stakes of this Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, I give it 9.
I'm going to go with the 9 as well.
I went with a 9-7.
9-7.
At a 9.3.
Holy moly.
It's a
Look
big
at
one,
these
baby.
guys.
For all the marbles.
Star power of this game, Ernie. Janet Jackson did show some cleavage.
Yeah. Listen, if you want star power for that stuff, I'm telling you, give it to some of the guys in the Bud Light commercial. This is kind of just old. I go with an 8 here. I mean, this was kind of a slugfest football game. There's no style points.
Yeah, I'll go with the star power 8.
Jack has an 8.8.
I had an
I had
8.8.
an 8.6.
The gameplay, how it went, slow first half.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a unique Super Bowl, just because it's there's boom both halves. Just can't. So I go with a 9 on that.
Nice.
Yeah, just get a little defense. It has defensive
So
love,
you
and
see
then it
two
has
are-
offense.
This is all some hard nosed running. People playing 2 backs, running the wham.
You get a game-winning field goal.
2 missed 2-point conversions.
Yeah,
2 missed.
Yeah, no, those okay, which were absolutely
Would you have gone for it to make it in that situation?
I
They were
know-
down, 4 points?
21-6,
They needed
21-16.
They needed a 2-point conversion to make it down 3.
Down 3, and I probably would because I say, hey, you get I don't know how many possessions going to be left, but you put the field goal. If you make it, the field goals in play.
Yeah.
It's really different if you get the ball for that last time. We down 4, we got to go get a touchdown. We're down 3, we can kick a 50-yard field goal and go to overtime.
But then they get down 5.
Yeah, well, listen. Hey, you pay your money and you take your chances.
You pay your money and you take your chances.
I mean, hey, we went for the 2-point play. We hit, it was, and like
16, we hit 2 of them. 2016, right? Didn't we hit 2?
Yeah, I think we just hit the 1 this game.
No, but I'm saying in 2016.
Oh, 2016.
We had
to. We had no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was clear cut, no choice. But in this game, and one of our favorites was we got the alert call. So if they're a light box, we can direct snap it. This was the direct snap to Kevin.
The fake.
The best.
Yeah. And if they're if they're
They're
in there
light,
for the
you
run,
got to go. Got to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to go gameplay. I thought it was a great game. It's sneaky, really good game. I'm going to go with like an 8-7.
I had a 9-2.
I had an 8.9.
The name of the game, the underrated Super Bowl. You got to score the name of the game, Ern. Decimals.
I think that's I'm going for like a 9-5.
9-5.
I think this is a great. That really describes this game.
It does. Underrated Super Bowl. I'm going to go with a 8.6.
I had a 7.0
I had 7.1.
on the low side there.
Where does it stack up in our games?
And of course, let me just say, because I'm going to give the name underrated. I like it. The underrated ring.
The underrated ring.
Tasteful.
And it's the only one Ernie was saying that he wears because
It always ends up. If I got to go, this is the best. It's the best ring to wear
why?
because it's big. It's got world champions, and it's not. It doesn't take up my whole finger.
So it's not too big. It's
Right.
big enough.
It's big enough. Yes, it has a way of catching people's attention.
I've heard that a couple times. It's big enough.
So we had an 8.65. It's now tied for our 14th game overall with the 2008 Celtics versus the Cavs we just did with Paul Pierce. It's just behind the 2011 AFC Championship game Ravens versus Patriots and just above the Statue of Liberty game Fiesta Bowl 2007.
Remember that game?
Not a great
Okay,
defense.
actually, yes, I remember. Yeah, I did.
And the Eastern Conference game was LeBron when he went for 45 against Paul Pierce in the game 7.
Okay, yeah.
Feels a little low.
This isn't a rescoring episode, but I already think this is too low.
Shouldn't be behind
Should be
that,
higher.
that AFC Championship game.
No,
Which one?
The
Ravens
2011.
Patriots? It should not be below that.
no.
It should probably be in a top 12. It should Raiders, Redskins, Four Nations.
That's too high.
That's a little too high. That's recency bias.
I think Super 18 is a little too high too.
Women's World Cup. I mean, that changed game for a long time. Girls, as a girl dad. Snow Bowl. That kicked off the damn near everything. 16 World Series, Cubs, Indians. I mean, Cubbies.
That game was,
That's high.
yeah. That's
Is that high?
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't won a World Series in ever.
Game 7, yeah. This is just ahead of the Titans Rams reach game too.
I'm bringing this game to our rescoring special. I
Yeah,
know
let's
that
do
much.
that.
Earn Dog, did we miss anything from this game?
No, I think we got the.
I think it was good.
Yeah. This was an old-fashioned football game
Old-fashioned football game
with a championship on the line.
with the championship on the line that people forget.
Doesn't get much better than
Right,
that.
which is I mean, and part of the reason Christine was really pushing to do that game for this team because I mean this is the core guys. We won 3 championships in 4 years.
Yeah.
And they've still a tendency to get overlooked. I mean, you could also get the overlooked Super Bowl, which is kind of the same idea is
Overlooked Super Bowl. Should we change the name real quick? Put it in as the overlooked Super Bowl.
I like it.
Overlook Super Bowl.
I like it.
Addendum.
Addendum.
So are we coaching at Phillips Academy all year?
Yeah.
Everyone go, what, do they have Friday Night Lights?
No, we actually we play on Saturday afternoons.
Saturday afternoon light? Saturday.
It's just prep school athletics. It's because we only play on Saturdays, but like basketball, all the other sports, it's Wednesday afternoon, Saturday afternoon. You come up to campus, there'll be 10 games going on.
Do they got a good snack shack?
I'll tell you what, they have for the parents put on a pretty good spread for friends of Andover football.
The place had the Constitution 10 years before the actual Constitution, right?
The school, right? The school constitution is, and then, listen. The other thing was 1778. When that school was founded, the Revolutionary War. There was a lot of questions how that was going to turn out.
We were losing. I think we lost New York and Philly.
Well, we had one at Saratoga, which was huge.
Got Saratoga,
but it was still. I mean, but the founders said, we're going to be a new country, and we need some educated people ready to run it.
And Phillips Andover Academy.
I was just on campus in the new athletic building up there, and I was looking at the Athletic Hall of Fames, and I saw Coach Belichick's name up there. I saw some presidents. When are we getting your name up there?
No, because I said no, because number one thing you got to do is had a really good athletic career, which I didn't. So I may be the volunteer of the year, but I have strong feelings about
You should be in the Athletic Hall of Fame just for being you're a huge part of athletics,
right? But part of it is that's got to be the people, and
there's no coaches in there.
Yeah, but people who coached there for 40 years. But I just felt like it was.
So they asked you to be in the Hall of Fame, and you turned it down.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, it's fair. I like that.
That's integrity.
That's integrity. That is an integrity type
I
man.
would not, because there are some people who aren't in there who are great athletes.
Yeah.
And I should not. I'd be embarrassed to go in before a couple of them. So who aren't in there. So
that's an integrity man right there.
Yep.
Lastly, any book recommendations?
Just finished reading the second. Rick Atkinson wrote he's doing a trilogy on the American Revolution. Just finished his second one, came out earlier this spring. I believe the title is Fate of the Day. It was terrific.
Do you ever watch the History Channel?
Not that,
I watch a lot of those. So you read your information? I watch it.
Uh-huh. I mean, from time, you only got 24 hours a day.
You know what? For 15 pages would take me 2 hours. I might as well watch a documentary.
A misinformed TikTok.
Okay, and by the way, it's Phillips Academy. It's not Phillips Andover.
It's Phillips Academy.
Because Samuel Phillips founded the school in Andover. His uncle, Jonathan Phillips, founded a school in Exeter, New Hampshire in 1781, which is Phillips Exeter Academy. And it's, I'm with thing with names, but there are sister school, arch rival, pain in the ass, baby brother, but we got to get the name right.
Got to get the name right. Phillips Academy in Andover.
Yes.
Or is it Phillips Academy Andover?
It's Phillips Academy. It's in Andover, Massachusetts. So
it's the OG. They call it. This is the OG, the original.
This is the original.
The
right.
OG.
Right.
Ernie, thank you for coming on.
Julia, it's been a pleasure.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Man, that's awesome.
Polo, you called it. He looked like he stopped by on his way to training camp.
I felt like I've seen that look.
The New Balance threw me. I didn't predict New Balance.
Well, it's a Boston-based company.
It's Boston. I just didn't predict a sneaker, I should say. Great hat game, too, by Ernie this week.
Relevant hat game.
Very good. Apropos.
What hat was it?
From the Super Bowl.
From the Super Bowl.
It was probably the Super Bowl hat. Ernie has his little
It was awesome. He's got
thoughts and how
some
he dresses.
mementos. It's all intentional.
It is.
I went to give Ernie a little nux before the show. About broke my finger on that Super Bowl ring.
You notice it was upside
Iced
down?
out. I did not.
For who?
It was like, if you look at it like this, it's upside down.
Well, it was for him.
Maybe, but for him, it's probably.
Ernie lives for himself, not anybody else.
I think he lives for Christine.
He lives for Christine.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
It was a very It's a very overlooked Super Bowl.
It is.
When you have 6 of them, one of them's got to be the overlooked one.
That was awesome.
This is
know,
like,
he-
when you talk about this was like, okay, now we're on dynasty path.
We barely even talked about Nipplegate, by the way. Barely even talked about
I
it.
didn't want to get too far into it, but he did bring it up with the malfunction.
I know.
Wardrobe malfunction.
That was the perfect amount of nipple talk.
Was it?
Yeah, because he mentioned it, he acknowledged it, and then we moved on.
He was more fascinated with the goddamn commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beer commercials.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's got to be a wild feeling being in that many Super Bowls, never seeing the commercials. Then, like 20 years later, you're watching
And
that,
that's
like,
when
wow.
commercials were pretty damn good.
They were really
Ernie
good,
just
bro.
shows up. What's up?
You guys heard this new?
Yeah, you see this commercial?
Those were the funniest commercials.
Yeah.
It's time for the Chill Zone, brought to you by Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN and celebrate responsibly. Those mountains, they're awful blue. Little 68% humidity out here is
We
perfect.
like that. Perfect weather.
Perfect. Feels like 76, but it feels like 10 degrees in my throat.
That's right. Just how we like it.
Jack, what are we doing for this?
All right, this is
Cold.
This is a little edition of a peek behind the curtain,
A peek behind the curtain.
where Jules imparts some wisdom onto us about what really goes on, different facets of the NFL and life as a player. Today, we're going to be pulling back the curtain on how NFL players watch film and their preparation process each and every week, day in and day out, and what it's like watching film as a player.
All right, well, that's like a loaded question that can go a million different ways, and I'm probably pretty sure that it's different for each player on how they watch film.
As a football player, like at the end of your career, the most current time you were in the league, how did you watch football? iPad? How did it get deciphered to you? Are people assigning certain things?
So players, you watch a lot of film in the meetings with the coaches. I mean, we'll have a 45 play cut up Wednesday morning with Coach Belichick that's breaking down probably 15 plays on offense, 15 plays on defense, 15 plays in the special teams. Just an overview of what he thinks the teams are.
And everyone's on the team.
Everyone's in the auditorium watching. So you're watching reps on that. And he'll have what he's talking about. All right, you guys look at their defense. They play a lot of cover 2 shell. Watch those safeties. And then you break up into offense and defense.
So that's just for the team you are playing that week.
Okay. So this is just a regular work week. We'll watch that film. Then we break up into offense, defense, like we all know, because we've talked about this goddamn schedule on this podcast a million times. And, then the offensive coach, very similar to like all the other meetings, has his 20 to 40 play, 15 to 30 play cut up of what he sees and the keys to victory. So you're watching more reps. Sometimes they overlap from the head coach, and you're seeing, and they're giving you kind of the important keys of what we should be seeing for this defense. And then once you break up into your skill group or your position group, your coach, your individual coach, will have his set of 15 to 20 plays individually on how you watch, their team. Now, Chad O'Shea, my coach, receivers coach, he would show a bunch of, we'd watch like 10 to 15 plays of how we're going to have to go in and block guys for the force, or how their DBs are, in the run game. And then he'd have individual like 30 play cut-ups of each corner that you're going to defend, with like highlighted examples of what their strengths were, highlighted examples of what their weaknesses or what they struggled with. So like, say, you have a corner, he's really big guy. He would show his offhand jam, how this guy did it 3 or 4 times. You would look at his stance on when he would do it, how he would do it, so you could kind of feel it. So you're looking individually at that specific guy with the receiver coach. And then for me individually after that, and those days would always change according to what day it is. That would be early down day. And then you do the same thing on Thursday for third down day. And then the same thing for Friday with red area, and then overview, 2-minute, and all the others. And then there would be cut-ups. Coach O'Shea would say, all right, we have, I want you guys to take a look. If, say, we were struggling or we weren't at the standard of third down that week, Coach O'Shea would be like, all right, we got a cut up of all their 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and longs. Why don't you guys take a look at that? And that's what you could watch at home. So you go on your iPad. Everything, by the time I got out of the league, was digital. So you had everything broken down in every kind of like situation you can think. If you just want to see the DBs, you can click in. All right, I want to see 40. I want to see 27. I want to see all his passes defended versus third down. You could look at that. It got to that. I want to see all his plays on first down. I want to see all his cut-ups of any time the ball was thrown at him. I want to see all the cut-ups of, every time this guy tackled. Like, you could get into all that. For me individually, I leaned on a lot of, Coach O'Shea. He'd always have great cut-ups for us. That's how you determine if you had a good coach. Or that's what you always saw from a good coach. They would always give you great cut-ups of things that, helped you with your game. So, a lot of times you would sit there and I just rewatch the stuff that Chad would put in our mind. And then I like to watch like a whole game. So I would like to watch the whole game of the last 3 games. I'd watch his last 3 games just to see him throughout the game.
So you're just focusing on like who your matchup is going to be for the
specific,
most part?
depending, like out of work. Yes.
You're doing the one-on-one.
I'm doing more one-on-one
specific
looking specific. I want to see if I can see any tendencies from the defensive back, the guy I'll be going against, maybe a linebacker on certain situations and certain situations. I would sit and watch them on all of those.
Like, let's say your specific matchup against a cornerback X. Would you ever break out of the 3 prior games? Would you ever watch any film on them from earlier seasons or earlier in the?
So that's what all the cut-ups would be.
Okay.
So the coaches would cut that up and show like their strengths and weaknesses, and you could see that, but you wouldn't know what part of the game it was. I mean, they'd have the cut-up where they always hit the down and distance first, but sometimes I like to watch the flow of how this guy was flowing throughout the whole game, from first down to second down to third down. Does he get tired? Does he get lazy at the end of the game? When can I really strike him? Does he do certain things at certain points of the game? Is he going to be, a run factor in all of the game, or does this guy quit as the game gets on because he doesn't want to hit no more? Does he certain times of the year, a guy could be a completely different player from week 1 to week 9, 13, like a guy that struggled in the beginning could be, so if you're looking at all his struggle shit, what he struggles with, he tightens that up until and then he's playing like a completely different player, which guys do. They get better, they improve.
Cream season.
Season. You get to watch it. I like to watch like the most recent, because that's kind of like how he is physically right now. And then also injury stuff, like if he's on the injury report, he's got an ankle. I want to see how he moves from last week with the ankle. I want to see, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways of doing it. And then when you watch a lot with say I watched a lot with Tom, a lot of those times it'd be examples of not necessarily our film. It would be of their defense with other receivers running routes against other route concepts against their defense.
Okay.
So Tom would be like, hey, you see this when they were playing this team? You see how this receiver against this defense goes this way, and then that's the kind of like one-on-one talk and film talk you would get with the quarterback. Or it'd be more like route running. You'd watch with Tom, you'd watch a lot of one-on-ones of our tape against practice on just like reiterating how Tom liked how you ran the route. It didn't matter if you caught it or not, because it's one-on-one, but just route technique. That was a lot of time where we would go in it with the quarterback to watch the one-on-ones to try to create the chemistry between the quarterback and the receiver.
How did those sessions come about? Is that like a part of your schedule, or is that like free time?
That
like,
be,
Tom, let's go, let's watch.
So it would sometimes we would do that early in, we would schedule that part of those individual meetings when we break up into, all our own positions. Tom would sometimes come over, and all the quarterbacks, we would watch all that film together, our one-on-one film together, and then a lot of the times, sometimes Tom, he would like to he'd watch film after, the practice and say, hey, guys, why don't we just, if there was some uncertainty on certain plays or a certain game or a certain scheme or a certain concept, it was a way for him to nail it down.
Did you, this might be like more of a movie trope, but did you ever get any aha moments or really big takeaways that you were able to use in a game? Like, oh, I was able to crack this one thing, and I know that on this play, this situation, he's going to do this and take advantage of it? Or is that more of like kind of like a Hollywood movie type thing?
No, I remember all week, and we'll be talking to Vince Wilfork soon, in that butt fumble game. That specific, I had a touchdown on a post, and it was this, it was a blitz it was some sort of blitz. I forgot like the actual terminology. I'm going off of just straight memory right now, where we knew that corner was going to be flat-footed on that play with that specific situation. In that specific situation, they were going to run this certain blitz where it was going to be great for the post, and they would have to communicate, and we hit that. Like, it happens a lot.
And who catches that kind of stuff? Or is it anyone?
See, that's what the coaches do.
Have you ever caught anything like that on a one-to-one matchup? Oh, if I know he's doing X, Y, and Z, I get this piece of information.
I mean, that's just all what you're doing. That's always what you're doing. Like, the coaches will like a lot of those times when, say, Josh McDaniels on the offense, in the offensive meeting with the whole offense, like when he has his cut-ups, he could have a play that he took from college or someone around the league against this specific defense, this specific team, and show another team executing something that we're going to install specifically to take advantage of that specific defense. We were a game plan team, so we had most of those. Like every week we had a cut up like that where, hey, these are plays we're going to bring in, or these are plays from the past against this specific. This may be a new wrinkle that we want to bring that we've got from the college level, the Who Man and the Raven,
those
and
Bama plays,
Baltimore formation thing. Like we saw that from college. A lot of copycat game plan type shit.
We're talking a lot about film here, but can you speak to the importance of the cowboy clicker in NFL facilities?
The cowboy clicker, which is what you see Shanahan holding right now. I mean, that's everything. If you don't have a good cowboy clicker, or like the button smashed, or the button sticky, it could fuck up your day.
You ever just get like frustrated and just break a cowboy clicker like an Xbox controller?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to have Teddy on and the film and IT people,
the real unsung
I can
heroes,
feel like
baby.
Jared and Teddy, bro. They've replaced 1 million clickers for me.
I feel like you're the friend in high school. You go over his house and all of his Xbox controllers are just in mangled, but you just got cowboy collars just in pieces, or cowboy clickers in pieces.
And
I didn't. No, I just dropped it. I didn't break it. I didn't throw
the real, say, like lithium thing, where it was like a rare thing, was when you had the cowboy clicker on the iPad.
Whoa!
Because the they got that technology late
now.
in like my career. When you got the cowboy, because it's good to use. It's not. It's just not as efficient when you have to go here,
You gotta
here,
touch all the shit.
and you're
Touch
going
screen.
here. Literally, you're just right here, and you rewind. And fast forward, rewind so much. It has to be so dialed because you're just trying to see the step that the guy's taking, and you want to see it 1,000 times. That DB, when you're watching DB, you'll sit and you'll see that first play. You'll press play and he'll step, and you rewind, step, rewind. All right, step. You want to see it.
That brings me to my next question.
And that's what the cowboy.
Is there a moment that sticks out to you that's like the world record for rewinds and start overs, like in a team meeting?
Yeah, coach. I mean, anytime there was like bad football, as Ernie said,
The quiet rewind back and forth.
yeah, the quiet rewind and like just straight like you just feel like your lunch, someone just spit and pooped in your lunch
Rewind.
in front of everyone.
Oh man!
You the one time where you think like the coach may not have seen that play. Oh, it's on there, and then he slows and rewinds it 1 million times,
catches
and it could be
everything,
something
maybe that eye in
stupid
the
like
sky.
Ernie said on,
Call your
our
fetch catch,
false start. I've seen a false start like rewind like maybe 10, 15 times in a row. Like, first and 15, and that's like there's 4 or 5 restarts in just what I said. The silent when the coach says nothing and it's just going back and forth.
Let the rewind do the talking.
The rewind does the talking.
That's awesome.
I got one more before we wrap this up.
I got a bunch more, but keep go ahead, guy.
How was it like when you first came into the league? You talking DVDs? What's the
Yeah, so you got to give a shout out to all the film people and like IT people, Jared and Teddy, and we had Famos. They were like our guys, and early in the days, they do all the cutting up. Back in they'll do all like the. It used to be like I don't know if. A lot of the times it's like an offensive assistant where he has to go in and like he'll have to do all the typing for like, all right, what, like, because if you watch a play on your iPad, you'll have it like lined out, the coverage, the front, the situation, you'll see the time, you'll see the protection, you'll see the personnel group for offense, personnel group for you'll see everything categorized on a spreadsheet on that thing. So you'll see all that. That all has to be put in by someone. So a lot of times that's like the offensive assistants, and then the offensive assistants will work with the IT guys, Jared and Teddy, and like they'll do all like the designing of the cut ups. All right, well then we'll gather all the, you know what I mean? It's
All
like
intertwined.
a big fucking deal.
How do you even do that without the iPad? Like, how you get a sheet against the DVD, or is it baked in when you're watching the DVD? There's like a graphic.
So no,
that
what you
says
used
this
to do,
coverage.
like what I would do to Teddy and Jared, I would go up to them and I'd be like, "Yo, give me Devon Best. I want all of his targets. I want to see," and you know, because I used to like to see, or give me Amendola when he was with the Rams. I want to see every target this guy has. I always liked watching how other guys got open and how other guys were getting production to see if you could steal something from them. You know, Eddie Royal.
Shout out Virginia Tech.
Remember?
Yes.
He had a few good years, like at the slot position. I used, you know, so like I'd say, "Hey man, can you give me all that?" Or, "Hey, Teddy, Jared, can you give me all the Camardi plays where he's not in the one spot." So when he comes inside, you know, they would, you know, and then because of the organization that they all have, they would go in and design the whole clip, and they'd print it out and burn it off on a DVD, and they give you a DVD.
Like, say you ask for that at lunchtime on a Tuesday, like you're having that by the end of the day.
Oh, easy. Those guys
they're the best.
they work their dicks off. Like those people, all the people in the organization have their specialty. The catering people, the dietitian with Ted, the film, the people that clean, the after hours people that clean, the wait staff, the training staff, the upper division marketing staff, like everyone. It's crazy how many people go into running a football team.
It's a team effort.
I'm sure there's so much more to cover on this subject, but with time, why don't people comment in the leave a comment for any follow-up questions? We might have to come back to this because it's such a rich part of football. So leave a comment about this. Yeah.
And learning how to watch film is a huge thing. Like some guys just watch film to watch film, but they don't know what they're watching. You know, when you're a young football player, if you could sneak in and watch, you know, an older vet watch, and that's how I learned. I would just go, you know, pop my head in and see what Tom was looking at, or what Wes was looking at, or Randy was looking at, or Kevin was looking. You know, that's how you learn how to watch film. Because if you're watching the film, you're just watching to watch. You don't know what the hell you're watching.
I watch film every Sunday. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a ball knower. Come on, man. Don't sell yourself short. I was like, sick catch.
Like,
Nice.
it's so crazy to me. Like, I remember I hear you watch these documentaries, and you watch like Brett Favre didn't even know what a nickel was until like his 5th, 6th year. A nickel will be in the third corner, or like I remember him talking about him learning how to watch film with a certain coach. You know, you got to learn how to watch film. Because you can go in without a purpose and just become so overwhelmed.
Facts. Awesome. That was awesome.
And that was the Chill Zone. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN. Celebrate responsibly. Well, what a game. Thanks again to Ernie. The overlooked Super Bowl. Which it really is.
Yes.
You know, no one, I mean, the first one's the first. The back-to-back's a back-to-back. And then our 3, we didn't go back-to-back, but they all had their own little storyline in general. This is an overlooked Super Bowl, which was a really good Super Bowl. A really fun storyline, too, between like an underdog new team with the Panthers. I mean, they were 1-15, and he said a bad 1-15 2 years before this, and then they're in the Super Bowl. That's a beauty of NFL. Thanks again to Dunkin. This house has been awesome. The studio was amazing. We have donuts up the yin yang, coffee everywhere. I am so sugar and caffeinated up that I just want to just shoot so many podcasts
I just want to coach the Lions. I got so much caffeine in me. I'm jacked and pumped.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
All right, guys, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember,
Rate and review.
leave us a 5-star review on Spotify while you're there. Remember to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. Leave a comment on the YouTube full episode. We love reading the best comments in future episodes. Like that one comment where that person just put a ... I saw that.
What do they mean?
I don't know. But leave a message on the hotline?
Hotline. The hotline.
I felt Scottish. I felt a little Scottish. Leave a message on the hotline at 424-291-2290. And we'll see you guys next week. Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.